Hey, the Niners just played football in real life. What do you think about it? We got to know. We are here. We are here. Welcome back to the Coach's Huddle. It's your boy, the coach, where the field meets family. And this show is brought to you by Prize Picks. And we got another one, dog. We in here. The Niners just played preseason football a couple of days ago against the Tennessee Titans, losing in an effort of 19-13. But we saw so much. Offense played, defense played, special teams. We had some rookies that stood out, some older players that we had forgotten about during training camp that showed their way. We also got a chance to see how the coaching looked on defense. We saw a little bit of the pressures, the new looks on the five-man fronts that we've had. We got a chance to get a look at some of the older guys, some younger guys that played last year, got a lot of time. There's a big conversation about Alfred Collins that's floating around the community right now. But I want to hear from you. You guys know that this is my favorite show of the platform, which is the call-in show, bruh. I want to hear from you guys. The link is pinned in the chat, and we already have the show formatted into a couple of directions. One, we cannot. It's talking about my dog, De'Zhaun Stribling. De'Zhaun Stribling, he's as advertised. We're looking at what the young guy did this past Thursday evening. And look, man, 7 receptions for 63 yards, an average of 9 yards per reception, a long of 32, which was pretty much the beautiful catch that he caught on the right side of the field on the fade route. And, you know, the size, the speed, the youth, the strength, the way corners were bouncing off of De'Zhaun Stribling. I mean, trying to lay booms on him. We talked about this during the live show here at the Coach's Huddle. Often, I just think that, you know, us seeing him go against what would be the Tennessee Titans starters, he looked good. And right now, the way that the receiving core is kind of constructed right now, you have to look at a receiving core that has an aging but capable Mike Evans, all right, a hurt Christian Kirk, inspired Deebo Samuel, okay, Demarcus Robinson, Jacob Cowing, Will Pauling, Jordan Watkins, Kadero Hodge, Trenton Irwin, Wesley Grimes, and Malik Turner. It's pretty easy to see that he is the gem of the room. The receiving core is a completely different animal without De'Zhaun Stribling playing. Like, that's how important he is to me. That's what struck me when I watched what he did in preseason today. In preseason on Thursday. Also, I just want to know, honestly, guys, what are your biggest takeaways from how you feel about the team? Is so far so good? You know, after 2 weeks of camp, 1 game in, I mean, do you feel better or worse than you did after day 1? You know, this is our first time being able to see the 49ers in months. So I know the fans are chomping at the bit, and we're not going to wait an entire month to hear what you guys have to say. Obviously, you guys have sat back and listened to us talk all week, all summer, really, in off season. So I really want to hear from you guys. The link, again, is pinned in the description, and it's pinned in the chat. So you guys get in here. And lastly, the third question I want to ask is, who impressed that nobody is talking about? All right. So we talked about De'Zhaun Stribling. Heard about Jaden Duggar, which I want to talk about him. You know, we've heard about what we saw out of Ephesians Prysock. I don't want to say any more names because I don't want to take any thunder away from any callers that are coming up that have guys that they were looking at. But when you watch the tape, when you watch the game, who impressed you that you didn't see get the recognition? I want to hear from you guys, and I want to hear what you guys have to say, because really, this is the most important part of the show, which is how you guys feel. So I'm going to go ahead and just put up the graphic that we have today. The board is open. the first look at the 2026 Niners, I really want to hear what all of you have to say. So far, so good. 2 weeks into camp. Is Stribling the real thing, or who impressed that nobody's talking about? Also, we do know that the Niners are pretty much going to be either starting practice or going to be in practice while the show is going on. So we'll be pumping in information. We'll be pumping in information and anything that happens on Twitter that we've been figuring out with practice. We'll be able to talk about that as well. And we'll be able to rock out. I'm here for you guys for a couple of hours. Larry's going to be at practice, so our show is going to be postponed to either later tonight or tomorrow. So let's get it going. I got Alan in the chat right now, and I want to hear from my dog, Alan. Alan, how are you, brother?
How you doing, man? Good, man. It's football's back. That's all that matters, man. Football's back.
It's back, baby. It's back, dog.
It's back. It's back.
It's back. Hey, talk to me, man. Get in here and let me know how you feel. So far, so good. Let's go.
I feel pretty positive, man. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of the worries I had was our D tackle group.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, they actually shown some flashes. Although we didn't have our starting. Did Oka play? I don't think he did. Did he?
Who?
Oka. Was it the dude?
Osa Odigizua?
Yeah.
No, Osa didn't play.
Yeah, but I think so far D tackle group I'm feeling pretty good about. It's still our biggest worry, for my opinion, is our edge. But I think those young bucks at D tackle we're sitting pretty solid in.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
As for Stribling, I want to hold my hype up for him, man, because I know it's preseason. Yeah, it is against the Tennessee Titans starting defense, but Tennessee's defense ain't really like that, man. But he's shown promising things where hopefully Kyle doesn't screw up by put him in the back in the bench and stuff instead of playing Christian Kirk, Debo and Mike Evans. We don't need all that. We need some young blood in there.
Okay. So is Stribling the real thing to you?
I want to wait, man. I want to wait. I want to say yes so far, but it's just one game. Everybody's hyped about this one game, which he's shown flashes, man. I love some of the stuff I've seen with him. He gives me a lot of that. Not a IU kind of vibe, but he gives me this like somebody that could potentially be Brock Purdy's favorite go-to guy on third down. Not Juwan. I think he might be better than Juwan, but yeah,
I think Stribling should. I mean, just obviously Juwan. Those are big shoes to fill, right? Juwan Jennings actually has shown it in tape. He's shown it in the real league. He's made a name for himself. So, I know what you're trying to say, and you're trying to say it without disrespecting Juwan, which is the traits that he has just off rip are better than what Juwan Jennings has given us, and I can agree with that.
So far,
better traits.
He's eating all of our words after that draft day pick. Remember, all of us was so pissed. Why receiver again? It's not even a good one. I remember we was all pissed about that, man. But he's so far looking like the promising one. So far, he does. I like Duggar so far too. A lot of people. I know Jesse said he wasn't really super big fan of him throughout that game, but he's showing flashes, man. I mean, our line.
Hold on, Jesse said he wasn't a fan of Jaden Duggar throughout the game.
No, he said he didn't. He's showing flashes, but it wasn't enough for him to have him as his stock up. Wow. He had his stock up players. He put them in like intriguing players to watch, but he didn't have them in stock up or stock down.
Okay.
But
that's crazy.
Yeah. I said the same thing.
I love Jesse, but that's crazy.
Maybe y'all can talk about this on Monday's show, man.
We gonna go. You've already got. Yep. Anyway, go ahead. Thank you, bro.
But I like the one confident group I say so far I've seen is our linebacker group. The one that scares me the most is our guard, man. Our left guard, straight buns.
Robert Jones.
All of them, all the above. All of them were getting beat. Yeah, it's Jeffrey Simmons, man, but it just doesn't look good. It kind of worries me for Brock's sake because last thing we need is Brock to get hurt again. And we don't know what the status is for Curtis Ward. Yeah, we got Mac Jones, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm actually excited, Coach. Everything's going like there's stuff there to be seen that we want to see. It's just there's a lot of unknowns we still don't know yet. Like we don't know about the running back room. We don't know about uh we still don't know about these receiving core, the receiving core we got, the young bucks. I wish to get shown a little bit more Jordan Watson throughout the game, giving him some more touches or some more
Okay,
looks.
so Allen, I love you, dog. I love you, man, but I got to get you. So look, Jordan Watkins was the second leading receiver of Thursday night's game, bro. He had 6 receptions for 59 yards, and he actually had 9.8 yards a tud, bro, with a longer 20 yards, and he was targeted 10 times. He led the team in targets. I'm just, I'm going to put that out there, then I'm going to let you go ahead and, you respond to that.
Well, you gotta think, man. He got Martinez out there. Martinez is buns too, man. when
Yeah, he
I'm
struggled.
talking about if he had Curtis Ward still playing and stuff to give him more looks and stuff as a like as much as they gave Taylor looks, I wish they'd give that more towards Watkins with Curtis Ward. Give the Ole
Okay.
Miss receiving core a chance to see what it's like to be out on the field together and stuff. But no, I get, yeah, maybe he got as much targets, but it's mainly with Martinez, man. Martinez is just trying to do his best impressions of Brock Purdy running around.
Okay, so close me out with the third one. Who impressed you that nobody's talking about?
Who impressed me that nobody's talking about? I say Taylor, man. I know he's old and stuff, but he gave me some. He looked like he had some spark in him. At
Patrick Taylor
receiver.
Jr.?
Oh no, the receiver. 81.
Oh, you're talking about Malik Turner.
Yes, Turner. Sorry,
Yeah, Malik Turner. Yeah.
he looked promising too. Because you only seen Curtis Ward throw to like 2-3 people throughout that whole time he was playing. It was Stribling and him, and he showed some promise. Maybe he might be fighting for a roster spot,
Hey,
potentially a
man.
camp body.
Hey, dog. Thank you so much for the call, Alan. Keep supporting the show, man. Be locked in whenever we drop our next stuff, bro.
All right, man. Have a good one, Coach. Stay blessed and stay safe, man.
Thank you, brother. Jesse, you're up next, man. Jess, how you doing, brother?
Good. How are you doing, Coach?
I'm doing good, man. It's Saturday. The boys are back practicing, here to talk ball. Want to hear what you guys think, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Look, every year. Look, man, I'm 47. I've been a Niner since I was 8 years old.
Okay.
And it seems like year after year, I'm disappointed, man, because when I was younger, we didn't lose the Super Bowl. When we went to, we won, So it's a bit disappointing, man. I love our team, but I'm worried. Right now, we don't have a run game, and
we don't have running backs.
But look, Kyle is known for taking, and his father was too, taking no-name running backs, putting them on the field, and making them successful.
Okay.
Am I right or wrong?
I agree with that.
UDFAs. I mean, Terrell Davis was not supposed to be a Hall of Fame running back, and look what Mike Shanahan did with him. But it makes me feel like we keep shopping in the bargain bin at Target for our offensive linemen. Now, Colton McKivitz, he plays great ball. Trent Williams,
he turned into something. Yeah.
But and then Pooney's good, but Brendel, and who's the left guard? So
Robert Jones and Connor Colby.
Colby,
Connor, yeah.
They don't have a solid option at guard, and it makes me worry because that center of the Seattle defensive line is blowing our line up, pushing them back into Purdy. And then I really feel like Purdy's a great quarterback, man, but he's not Josh Allen. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He really needs a good run game to set up the pass for him to set up the play action.
Mm-hmm.
And just worried that our line is not going to allow them to produce the run game, because they really weren't running the ball all that well against the Titans. And I realize this isn't the starting line, but Kalon Black is out, and I get resting McCaffrey, and then Jordan James is out, and man, it's got me worried. It's got me worried. Are you worried about it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I am. I'm a little more concerned about the recent news that we've heard from Keelan Black, which is that he's going to be missing some considerable time with that the adductor injury. So, yeah, because now we already knew that ribs don't heal quickly. So Jordan James was already going to be TBD with the broken ribs. So I just got to see what they're going to do with the backfield. Now, Khalil Herbert showed a little bit of pop. I was very interested in seeing what Sincere McCormick did. Patrick Taylor Jr. and Zamir White, not so much. I feel like the Niners are trying to figure out what they're going to do behind Christian McCaffrey. But for now, he's in bubble wrap until Melbourne. I really do believe that the Niners have a running back issue. But I'm willing to give them time to see what they come up with as far as a solution.
Yeah, and that bothers me too. I feel like Christian McCaffrey's got to have somebody to spell him during the game, because he's 30
for sure.
now, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and there another free agent out there or someone who's not going to make the squad that San Francisco can bring in, and is it going to be someone that Kyle trusts and will actually put in the game? Because last year, Brian Robinson Jr., I mean, he had his moments where he looked like he popped, but I feel like Kyle didn't trust him enough to put him on the field more.
Yeah. Kyle's usage at running back is confusing, to say the least. Really what it is that I think that not only is he kind of strapped to what Christian McCaffrey can do outside of running the ball, but just everything as far as process is concerned, like the entire game plan seems to really focus around him, especially when the running game is involved. So it's not even so much as running Christian into the ground, but I'd like to just see some more creativity. Deebo Samuel is back on the team, right? See what we're going to do with that. If we can't traditionally run the ball, how do we get to it? All right. Do we fold in a better short passage yardage? I mean, a short game in the yardage. I mean, a short game in the passing game. Right? Do we start doing more screens, now routes, tight end screens? What can Jake Tonjes give us from throws from behind the line of scrimmage? Like, we have to start manufacturing a better game as far as keeping a defense honest. That's what a run game is for, is to be able to keep a run game honest and assert dominance on the line of scrimmage. So right now, it's not even really the running back issue for me. It's that I just think that they don't have a really good perspective on just being married to just Christian McCaffrey, what he can do. And that's what worries me. You know, it's not so much as, all right, we got a couple of backs down. Kyle's genius should be able to find us something along the ways of a run game, because the run game really is fundamental. But when you start seeing when certain guys can't be inserted and we can't get the run game going, then that's when you have to start asking yourself, well, what are you doing scheme-wise? Are you kind of putting a square peg in a round hole? We're putting some of these guys strictly in outside zone and inside zone. Maybe we would have got a little bit more out of B-Rob last year if we started switching him to gap scheme, if we started running a little bit of power with him. You know, so there's different ways how to accentuate the runner that you have. But I feel like the Niners are kind of like the tail is wagging the dog, where they want running backs to fit a scheme and the scheme be and the player be damned. So that's where I'm willing to give them a little bit of time, because there's so many avenues on which you can succeed in a run game without just having your starting runner be that guy all the time. And there's a lot of brain power in that building that I believe they can find out how they can get to it. But as far as the traditional, we're okay with our start and back, and we got a good backup there to ride out into the season in week one. You're right. I don't want to I don't want to be facetious. Like, we don't have that right now. We don't have a strong backup running back right now.
I almost wonder if they can incorporate Jordan Watkins in there or something, because he's got that 4.3 speed. And you remember when Debo first came in the league, they were handing him the ball in the jet sweep. They were hitting him out on wide receiver screens. Watkins does have that speed. I'm almost wondering if Kyle's got something up his sleeve. We're not going to see it during the preseason. I'm almost wondering if we might see something during the regular season if Kyle will put Watkins on the field. And I think Watkins is going to have to be on the field this year.
Yep. I think Watkins is going to be our change of pace guy. You know, usually in the offense, we always have our receivers that we always have our X, our Y, and our Z, but usually Kyle always loves to bring in an F who can really change tempo, right? In years past, that would have been Ray McLeod, right? Or what's the other guy? Marquise Goodwin. So, yeah, you're kind of looking for that change of pace receiver, that guy that can get those screens, those now routes, those reverses, guys where he can kind of sit in the zone and be pesky to a defense. Yeah, I believe that Jordan Watkins can do that. He was targeted 10 times on Thursday. He looked really good. He seems to have put on a little bit more weight. I think Jordan Watkins has a real push, especially with Ricky Pearsall being down for the year. I think Jordan Watkins is going to be that guy for us.
I hear that. Sometimes Larry hypes up these players, and one of those players for me has been Jordan Watkins. So last year, you know, when he got that injury and he wasn't making it on the field, it was disappointing because I'm like, man, I want to see these guys step in and show out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I guess, you know,
so,
it's gonna be go ahead.
Talk to me about Stribling. Is he the real thing?
Look, when I saw the pick, when you guys, man, I watch you, I watch Larry, I watch Jesse, and I watch Grant. And when y'all get disappointed, I'm like, oh no. But he showed out.
Yeah.
He showed out. And I think he has shown some promise. I mean, we got to keep this guy healthy, but I think he can be a legit number 2 this year. I think he can be a legit number 2. He's big, he's fast, he's got strong hands, he can high point the ball. I'm excited about that. I think they got the pick right, especially they traded back twice out of the first round, and they were still able to get their guy and make extra picks. I'm excited about Stribling. I think the guy's got promise. He's got promise. What do you think?
I think he's the gem of the receiving corps. We need him. It's important for him to be healthy all season. I think that him getting 1,000 yards this season would be a little too much. I don't want to overuse him. I think that he's that important to make everybody else get off at first. And this is a take that I'm going to open up right here on the call-in show that I'll do another video about it later. But you know how we believe that it was all about Mike Evans? We all revolved around Mike Evans. That's what we needed. We needed another receiver, big body guy who could be a threat in the red zone, who's going to get the respect from different corners. We're definitely going to be able to tilt the defense a little bit. And the conversation when Mike Evans first got here was what? The young guys, all right, they can revolve around him. And as he needs time, the young guys can kind of pick up the slack and get their leadership going. And you know, it's going to be awesome, right? It's going to be a great crescendo into the season. I have changed my mind, bro. Jesse, I've changed my mind.
Okay.
It's all about this. It's all about Design Stribling now. It is about Design Stribling. We can't even get Mike Evans through camp, dog.
Yeah.
Without sitting him down for some time. I'm already foreshadowing how the season's going to go. He ain't going to be available all the time. It's about, and when we start seeing defenses, the only guy that they're really going to have to account for with anybody where he has the 4 things that I'm looking for. He's got size, speed, strength, and physicality. You can't say that about you can't say those 4 things about any receiver in our receiving group right now. You can't say that.
You're right. I
So
agree with you.
he's the only receiver that has those four. So everybody revolves around him because when you need the speed, you ain't relying on Debo. You damn sure ain't relying on Mike Evans. All right. Jordan Watkins is going to get on the field, but he's not going to be in a position where his speed is going to be accentuated throughout plays. If you're going to have a guy who's regularly going to be on the field and his speed, his physicality, all right, his size, all of that is going to be Deshaun Stribling. They have to protect him at all costs. We are after Deshaun Stribling, there is a far drop off as far as raw talent is concerned on this team.
I think Evans is going to be a red zone weapon.
Yep.
I don't see much else coming. The guy's tall, and he can high point the ball. I believe Tonjes is a good red zone threat. We need that stuff, but we got to get the ball down the field to get into the red zone. But I will say this, Coach. It seems like with these Kyle teams, Kyle moves the ball well. And then when we get into the red zone, it has become a struggle. I think it was a little bit better last year than the year before last. But I think Evans is a good addition just for that red zone threat, especially with Kittle being out. And Kittle's not coming back week 1.
I don't see it.
There's no way you come back from an Achilles that fast. He's 33 now, and I love Kittle, but let's be realistic. The body takes a while to heal, and he's not going to be back week 1. So we do need Evans on the field, but Evans has got to stay healthy. And with a receiver like Stribling, if we can feed.
Oh, Jesse. Oh, man. Back in black. Hey, look, we're going to put Jesse down for a little bit. Jesse, you don't go anywhere. I'm not going to kick you out. We're just going to wait for you to get your connection back together. But we will start another call in. Greg, I know you're ready, man. Greg's sitting here. Look, man, wait till you guys get a load of Greg. Like, Greg is awesome. What's up, Greg?
Hey, Coach. How you doing?
I'm good, brother. How you doing, man?
Doing okay. Doing okay for a Saturday.
Great. Hold on. Let me help out because we got somebody who wants to hear. Steve-O, if you need to unblock your mic, just get in here. I will unmute you and we'll walk through it because I want to talk to you, Steve-O. So get your ass back in the studio. Greg, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
All right, man. So give me your thoughts, initial thoughts.
It's kind of a mixed bag. I think it depends on which position group you're talking about.
Okay.
It's like you kind of touched on like our many hurt running backs at this point, and it's like that gives me pause. I think the fact that even though we brought in a carousel, we still don't really have a true starting left guard worries the crap out of me. I mean, I'm a lineman kind of like you from back in the day, and I'm like, we don't prioritize it, and then we wonder why we can't run the ball. So it's like, and I know people like try to say, oh, well, McCaffrey lost a step. Well, it's kind of hard to lose a step when you're getting blown up in the backfield about every other play. So to me, I'm a little nervous there. Now I'm very excited looking at our linebacker group. I mean, having Dre back, he's looking good. As long as he can stay healthy, that's going to be a huge add. And then Tatum Bethune looked amazing the other night.
He did. He was flying all over the place.
Yeah. So I think it depends on the group that you're talking about. So I feel pretty good looking at the linebackers. I think the wide receiver room is looking better, even with the loss of Ricky. If they can stay healthy, I think Evans will be that red zone threat that I think we were missing. But I think he'll also be a little bit of a downfield threat too, especially as big as he is. I mean, he's the kind of person that, I don't really like that Brock throws so many 50-50 balls, but if you're going to throw a 50-50 ball, you might as well throw it to someone like Evans, who has a history of being the one who's going to come down with it. But Stribling's looking really great. I hope he can stay consistent and healthy. But yeah, it's I think that some groups are looking better than others. I think I would agree with your previous callers that I think we saw a little bit of some good actions from the interior defensive line, from some of the backups. I mean, we still got to see how the starters do, of course, but I think certain groups I'm feeling a little better about, but other groups I think are just a little either too banged up or we just don't really have good answers for that. So I'm kind of in the middle on this one.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It was a mixed bag if you're looking at every facet of the team. Offensive line had its ups and downs. Left guard is definitely still a competition. I'll give you that. Robert Jones. One thing that we have to do is kind of put context on this. This is Robert Jones's first NFL action in a year.
Sure.
All right. So there's that.
Yeah, it's only one game.
Okay. Right. So we also have Colby, who worked in at right guard and left guard. He does well, but he's inconsistent. My biggest issue with the offensive line was the tackles, not Austin Pleasance. Austin Pleasance was fine. But Enrique Cruz, Brandon Parker, Isaac Alarcon, oh, man, they struggled, bro.
It's a big fall off there.
Yeah, it is a fall off. So this is what makes me want. This is where I start getting concerned about the Viridian Low conversation. Where is Viridian Low? Is he hurt?
Yeah.
Because outside of that, Brandon Parker didn't show me much. Isaac Alarcon didn't show me much. Enrique Cruz didn't show me much. Viridian Low, he's got to get in here. Austin Pleasance, I'm not mad at that, but Carver Willis struggled a little bit. We already talked about Connor Colby struggling, but he was a mixed bag. I would be okay with left guard when we see where they stand against the Chargers. I need to see more. They didn't do enough for me to completely throw them away, but they damn sure didn't enough to win me over.
Well, and I'm trying to remember the player's name, but I know Larry was talking about him, but there's the guy who everybody's like, is he going to be the replacement eventually for center? I forget the guy's name. You know who I'm talking about? But it's like, can we maybe... Is he going to end up being the left guard because no one else is really impressing, and then they move him over to center in a year, to kind of do you know who I'm talking about? I'm blanking on the player's name, but everybody was kind of talking about him possibly being our center of the future, but he needs playing time.
Carver Willis.
Yeah, so maybe you start him at left guard and then move him over after Brendel down the road.
Yeah. I do love Carver Willis as a prospect, but he's a year away. Yeah. Being able to see what he could do Thursday night definitely didn't show me anything that would say that he's ready to take over a starting job, let alone be a viable backup. But he's a year away. I think that Carver Willis is, and if another reason why I think he's a year away, Greg, is because that position is the reason. That position is a very important position. All right, that center position, it's the brain of the offense. And that's why Jake Brendel has been able to last for so long. Physical performance, or the lack thereof, be damned, right? But
yeah, that's why I've heard Larry and other people say, well, would they maybe put him in at the guard position so he can get a little more familiarity, get a little more playing time? Because, yeah, I completely agree. He's not ready to be the center yet, but it seems like maybe he's the center of the future that they want to develop.
Yeah, for sure. And I saw some flashes from him Thursday night, but definitely not ready.
Yeah.
So is Stribling the real thing?
I'm pretty excited. I mean, he had a great game. It's only one game though, so I want to see what he looks like. In the future. I mean, I don't know how much they're going to play him, because on some level you might want to just put him in bubble wrap till week 1, but he certainly is bringing things which we desperately needed. He has the size, he has the speed. I mean, I know people say the route running isn't as crisp as maybe someone who shall not be named used to be. But I mean, I see a lot of potential there. Some of those grabs were just amazing. So he could be the real thing. I think it's only one game, so let's see how the rest goes. But if he can do that the rest of the preseason, and once we get out there with the real folks, Yeah, he could be a huge addition in that wide receiver room for us, and I think something we've been desperately lacking, especially with Ricky's unfortunate injuries last year. So I'm excited. I mean, I think he could be the real thing, but I'm reserving judgment because it's only still one game.
Yeah, I like that. I just think the consistency. We've been around ball our entire lives.
Yeah,
and we also understand that there's a rite of passage to being a dog, and I ain't never heard about a dog that they didn't talk about in practice. It always happens in practice first. Start hearing about the practice, and then the locker room gets the guy goaded on, and it's like, yo, he's our dude. And I think that him being able to perform, what gave me the confidence of Design Stribling's performance? It wasn't just the performance, but it was the reaction of the team. Nobody was going over the board praising him. They've seen this before on a normal base. They're kind of used to it. So I'm very impressed with Design Stribling. And let's close out your call, brother. Who impressed you that nobody's talking about?
I wouldn't say no one's talking about, but certainly surprised me is the cornerback, Price Hawk.
Yeah, boy.
He was having himself a day, and I was not expecting that. Because like I had heard like some like rumblings from like some of the reports from camp, but mainly that this guy has the physical attributes, but can he put it together? Is he going to make the 53? But man, after that performance, if he can keep doing that in the preseason, he's going to be on this roster. And I mean, having a big corner like that, I mean, that's exciting. I mean, like, honestly, like I even heard, I forget if it was Larry or Grant, but it's like, could you maybe move Lenore back to the slot where he's a lot more comfortable and put Price Hawk in with Green, or maybe you replace Price Hawk for Green. But yeah, I was not expecting him to be as good as he was, but he was good. Now he does have a history of being a little handsy, so we got to watch that. But
I saw that. Mm-hmm.
But for just one game, I mean, he was breaking up passes. He was just draping people. I mean, he was there. And like I said, we do not have a really big physical corner, and I would love to see us have that. I mean, especially in the NFC West, where we have so many receivers that we need to really be able to lock down. Having someone like him would be really great for the team. Now, someone else who I'd put on there, I didn't know what to expect from our punter, but man, this punter was looking pretty good too.
Those punts, man. I know that those were some well-placed punts, bro. The one inside the 5, the one inside the 10. We do have a solid punter. I'll give you that.
Yeah, so let's see if he can continue that week on week. But if he can, because like I know we had like a punting competition on. I was like, okay, well, who's our punter going to be? And then they named this guy. Well, maybe this is why, because they're like, hey, this guy's who we need.
Yeah.
So those two people really stood out to me.
Hey, man, thank you so much for the call, Greg. Hey, we got practice today, man. Stay tuned. Yeah. What do you got? What do you got for the Niners going up against the Chargers, man? What do you want to see?
I would like to see a little bit more. I mean, obviously, we're going to have more of the starters playing, at least for a series or two. So I want to see, okay, what's it going to look like? Purdy to Stribling, Purdy to maybe Evans. I mean, I don't know if they'll put Evans out there, but I would like to see some of the starters, and what does that look like? What does the starters on the defensive line look like? So I'm excited to see more of them getting involved. I'm actually going to be at the not the Charger game, but the Raider game here in a couple of weeks. So I'm looking forward to seeing, okay, what does the first team reps actually look like? Because, it's hard when you're just watching the third or fourth stringers, because you're like, okay, well, they were looking okay for backups, but let's see the starters and what they can do against the other team's starters.
You're here. Hey, Greg, thanks for the call, man. Keep supporting, brother.
All right. Take care, Coach. Bye.
Take care. Jess, close me out with the last one, man. We got to get you out of here. We hung on to you. Who impressed you that nobody's talking about?
Oh, man, you know what? they're talking about him a little bit, but I want to see what Jaden Duggar is all about.
All right.
He's got the height, he's got the length, he's got the speed, and I want to see him. I want to see if he can put it together. Because, I'm a little disappointed. Last year I was excited about Nick Martin, but there's got to be a reason they didn't put him on the field last year. So I don't know if the Martin pick is if it's gonna pan out. Is Duggar gonna be that third linebacker next to Greenlaw and Warner?
Okay. Hey, man, I wanted you to finish out your call, man. Thank you so much for hanging in there, Jess. I'll talk to you, brother.
I appreciate it, Coach. Take it easy, bud.
Take it easy. JLP. JLP comes in here and gives me the black screen, bro. This is what I'm talking about. JLP. The technical difficulties. Last couple of calls, man, his connection was very good. But, we're just going to put JLP back down until he gets his act together. Guys, there's a lot going on. I want to talk about one thing with the Niners that I don't think a lot of people have covered, and that is Sebastian Valdez. Dog, can we talk about Sebastian Valdez real quick? Sebastian Valdez had 4 solo tackles, 5 total, all right, a tackle for loss, and he was all over the field. Now, I know that Grayson Holton gets a lot of love in this past game because he's a rookie. He's a 3rd-round pick. I think he's a 3rd-round pick. And there's a lot. No, he was. I think he was a 4th-round pick. But and there's a lot of fanfare around the young man, especially with how Coach Kasarik has been talking about Grayson Holton. But dog, Sebastian Valdez is somebody we've been seeing nicknamed the Hulk. Somebody that came in that is also strong on the interior. Definitely somebody who has a lot of pushback in. Strong in the run game. Definitely didn't see a lot about what he could do as far as pass pressure is concerned. But Sebastian Valdez has taken a step. He is not the same player he was last year. Sebastian Valdez is going to make this team. Now, I think they have a little bit of a logjam at defensive tackle on the inside because right now, James Thompson Jr. had a good game. So you look at what James Thompson Jr. did in the last game that we had Thursday night, and he's sitting here with three total tackles. He had a half a sack with pressures, and he closed out with a QB. There also was a lot of good pressure coming from Bryson Eason. Now, he didn't have anything in the stat column. I think he had maybe 1 total tackle combined, but I don't know what they're going to do at D tackle. I think right now we may the strongest part of the defense right now may be the linebackers and D tackles. Now, one guy who led the defensive stat totals this past game Thursday was Nick Martin. He had a total of 8 tackles, solo for 3. All right, and I want to talk about it. So I like Nick Martin. I think Nick Martin is going to do phenomenal. And I just want to be able to see what he can do inside of a phone booth. I think that he doesn't bring that much mass. He's a little too small. Now, I understand what he looks like, just period, the player. He's well put together, but I think he needs to gain weight. I don't necessarily see him knocking anybody back when it comes to the point of attack. Now, if he gets ahead of steam, right, maybe 2 to 3 yards, or especially if he's chasing somebody down in open field or in space or in kickoff return and special teams, you get all of that boom from Nick Martin. But just that speed to power that you would want to see, naturally being 3 yards off the line of scrimmage and fitting and thudding a ball carrier and getting him on the ground, I don't see that from Nick Martin. And I talked about it during the game. And I think it's indicative of his stat line. When you have 8 total tackles, but you only had three of them are solos, it kind of sounds like you got there and you got there at the fight, and it took some other dogs to get him down. That's what I've been seeing out of Nick Martin right now. And I don't want to go on the side of saying that it's concerning, but he definitely has strengths and weaknesses to his game, and that was prevalent. If we want to talk about defensive tackles, because I just saw a question in here asking me, Coach, how many DTs do we keep? Look, if we look at the roster from where it stands in September last year, we kept 5 defensive tackles. Right now, on the roster, we're looking at, what do we got? 7. So we're looking at 2 on the way out. Osi Odighizuwa and Alfred Collins are our locks. Are they, though? Alfred Collins did not look good, man. Can we talk about this, man? Getting washed out of his gap, missed tackles, getting blown off the line of scrimmage, pad height too high, soft hands. I don't even feel good saying this. What are we going to do with Alfred Collins, man? Now, look, he's coming off of a serious shoulder injury that would have ended his season had he gotten the surgery when they needed it. He stayed with the Niners over the offseason. He stayed in shape, got his body together. The Niners are very pleased about his offseason started camp on PUP, and he's folded his way back into. I just need to understand if we're playing good on good when it comes to the trenches, right? It's not confusing, but it's not missed on me that the left guard position looked very shaky once we started going against other people. Now, all of a sudden, left guard, now that we've seen it, it's open season on the position getting filled. But earlier on in camp, all we kept hearing was Connor Colby is the runaway favorite. I don't know. But, Alfred Collins, that's somebody where I don't want to say anything reckless. I don't think we should cut bait on him, but he definitely needs to improve. The first game was just not what you want to see from a starting defensive tackle on our defense. So, yeah, I do believe that we keep 5. And, there may be a play. There may be a play for Vita Vea. And, Alfred Collins may be a part of that package. Who knows? But definitely wasn't pleased with the performance of Alfred Collins. Yeah, Nate Bondi, I hope Collins improves for sure. Yeah, me too. But Sebastian Valdez did look better than Alfred Collins Thursday night. And that's just the truth, Right here we have from Scuba Pat. Coach, he's a 2-down defensive tackle. Why are we keeping him? Bro, where's that video at, man? When we drafted Alfred Collins last year. I'm going to find that shit. Because, look, I felt this way last year, man. I felt this way when we picked him up. I didn't think that he was a pass rusher. I agree with Coach Kucerik when he says that Alfred Collins can move for a big man. Got a lot of speed and versatility in space. I get that, but I just didn't necessarily think he was a good pass rusher. And I don't like his movement. I don't think he's necessarily a quick guy. He's not explosive to me. And I can be wrong about all this stuff. I'm just telling you what I see. And even for him finishing out the entire year for us last year, he still had like an overall PFF grade of like 39. So he struggled. He had some bright spots, but it wasn't necessarily anything that you could write home about. So I don't know. I don't want to lie to you guys and sit here and tell you that everything was just peachy keen on the interior defensive front. Alfred Collins struggled. If you want to look at the defensive tackles that played that night, Sebastian Valdez looked better than Alfred Collins. Grayson Holton looked better than Alfred Collins. James Thompson Jr. looked better than Alfred Collins. Bryson Eason looked better than Alfred Collins. Those are the facts. I watched the tape. You know, I didn't think we should have picked him up as high as we did. Go back and look at the draft party. Look at last year's draft party with me and Tom. Go back and go look at my lives, and you go see my reaction to us picking up Alfred Collins. Excuse me, me and Tom. We didn't like him from the entire draft process, and it was not the fact that we didn't like him as a player. We didn't like him for the Niners, and I believe that we picked up Alfred Collins because off of 2024 we were reeling as far as a run game was concerned, and we needed some interior help immediately. So that was the Robert Saleh draft. I wish the best for Alfred Collins. I really do. I want him to get healthy. That's number one. I don't think he's healthy as they think he is. And the biggest part is this comment right here. Not this comment where he's drafted too early, but the last comment that I put up, which is he's a 2-down player, man. Alfred Collins is a 2-down player. So the link is still in the chat for you guys to come in here and get some calls in if you want to jump in and join the conversation. But let's deal with a couple of other things that stuck out to me during the game, and I'll cover some more things. Grayson Holton and Larry Worth III. Dude, Larry Worth III, 6'4", 228 pounds, safety out of Arkansas who's playing linebacker for the 49ers. Bro, I like this kid. Larry Worth III has length, tons of range. I love his tenacity coming off the side. That's when we saw, I think later on in the third quarter, him buzzing off the left edge, chipping a would-be blocker as a run back and coming in for a sack or a half a sack during that game. I mean, Larry Worth III is somebody where, you can find Nicky Miwori, the body type, what they can do. You can find that stuff. Jaden Duggar, which we already talked about, looked amazing, but I'm telling you, my guy for as far as who impressed you that nobody's talking about is Larry Worth III. I was thoroughly impressed with him. Some other guys that impressed me during the game that a lot of people aren't talking about. We already talked about Ephesians Prysock. All right. He's already been talked about. I kind of feel like that's kind of like the homer's take if you think you know, but you really don't know. Who impressed me as well is Agbo Okoronkwo. I like his size coming off the edge, as well as I like his hands. I believe that he has strong hands. Also, too, he was very good in the run game. Conscientious player. He has better size than I thought he did. I thought he was a little smaller, especially because of his size. Him being at 31 years old, only at 6'2", 253 pounds. I still like his size. I think that he could really help us out down the stretch. And I believe that he's somebody who's really going to make the team. Some other guys that surprised me that I liked, and I thought they were kind of going to be camp bodies, just kind of to fill in until we got some serious players in there, maybe at the end of the year or at the end of camp. Maybe just filter some guys in. But, man, I am a big fan of Quentin Bell. Quentin Bell as well looks great in his pads, strong, instinctive, fast. He has a motor, too. Quentin Bell seemed like he was one of the few players where he looked good. His first snap looked like his last snap. I'm telling you, Quentin Bell is somebody that can help the Niners. Very stout in the run game as well. Watched a couple of plays on him in the playback that I have. Saw some really good plays on him, especially in the second half. You really want to watch who still wants to play football and like that half a third quarter to the rest of the game. Because that's more or less when, vanilla plays are coming in. Will Levis is in the game, so you're down to your third stringers, and you're really trying to put some good tape on the field. But I'm telling you, I really was impressed with Quentin Bell. I think that the Niners picking him up was a good get. And look, not that old, all right? Born in 96. He's only 30 years old, so he's got a lot of tread left on his tires. I think that Quentin Bell can help us out on defense as well. Another guy that I was impressed with on defense that I thought also was going to be a camp body, but I believe that there's a chance for him to be able to stick around a little bit. Titus Leo. Titus Leo is somebody that actually helped us out. I think that he's another guy where he's more in that Quentin Bell range where he's about 6'2", 260 pounds, but good hands. One thing I like about him is that Titus Leo doesn't necessarily have a lot in the run game as far as being able to defend, but he's more of a DPR. And this is what leads me to the next question, which is, how impressed were you with Romello Height, bro? What did you see out of Romello Height? Is the game a little too fast for him? What did you see? Is he physical enough? Was he good in the run game? I'm going to tell you this right now. The Guardian cap got to go. That Guardian cap, that shit annoys me. I cannot stand to see that shit. It looks like he forgot to take it off. It looks like he started the game, put his helmet on, and somebody let him walk all the way on the field with that shit on, and somebody forgot to say, Romello, take off the. It's like looking at somebody with a brand new shirt on and they have the tag still on. And it's like, dude, you have to take the tag. It's the tag. Rip it off. Just rip it off. Please, just take it off. It's right there. Dude, that Guardian cap irks me. So look, I've talked enough. We got one more caller coming in here. Manchis, hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
What's going on, Coach? How you doing? Sorry, I'm still laughing at that. Man. I'm still laughing at that Guardian cap.
Yo, come on, man! Get rid of that shit.
Yeah, I was like, why do you have it on? I was like, oh gosh, no. But man, Romello Height, he disappointed me. I'm like, I didn't see the strength. I'm like, all of camp, I was hearing the speed, the bend, and I'm like, oh, good, he's gonna dip under those hands, get in there, get to the quarterback. But as soon as they got a hand on him, he just couldn't move. They couldn't. They moved him out of his spot. I was so disappointed. I was like, wow. Because I was big on in the draft going for trenches, because that's kind of what I'm seeing right now is that at least the O line is not going as well as I was hoping it was going to be. Like I said, you mentioned the tackles, that left guard's a big open spot. Yeah, I'm just worried about the O line. I really am.
Okay. So, were there any more outside of the O line? Were there any more units that you saw where they just they underwhelmed? You know, first impressions, they really didn't move you.
Yeah, I mean, I would say running backs, but obviously there are fourth, fifth, sixth stream running backs. I didn't like those. But that's kind of almost like the only kind of negatives, I guess I would say, like watching the game. The positives that I like is I do like our receiving core. It's looking good, especially when Mike Evans and Debo, they all kind of come back. Well, Debo, I kind of want them to kind of like not use him as much, just couple catches a game, maybe like 3, something like that. But the receivers look good. I was big pushing on like getting like Vita Vea for D tackles, but the way our D tackles looked, I was like, oh, I'm kind of impressed. Where I was like, well, we might not need Vita Vea, even though that is a good name to have. What do you think?
I would advise against it. I mean, I get it's Vita Vea. It's another name. It's another feather in the cap. And then obviously we would have to bend to accentuate what he does well. But I think that he wants money. He wants money. So at 30 plus years old, I wouldn't want him longer than 2 years. That's one thing. And then there's a whole scheme fit situation. He's a two gap DC. We are penetrating defense where we stop the run on the way to the quarterback, right? That's just the style in which we play. We are a fast get-off team where we want penetrating defensive tackles. That's why you got Osia Digazua and Grayson Holton. That's why it's so confusing why Alfred Collins is here, to be honest with you. But for that, I don't see Vita Vea being here. And, if you really think about it, Coach Kocurek doubled down on that when the coaches recently just had conversations with the media where he accentuated, like, listen, we are going to run a 5-man front, but we're going to stick to our roots. You know what I mean? We're not going to be having big ass D tackles holding up offensive linemen, peeking over 2 gaps. Now, we're not doing that. We're going forward. So I think Vita Vea would be a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah. And I've been wanting a 5-man front for years. I love when we do the 5-man fronts. Like, I remember when we did it with Chase Young was on the team with Bosa, and I forgot the other 3, but we did a 5-man front a couple times there, and I was like, and it was working really good. And that's when we first got Chase Young. Like, we started doing that, and it was working great. And I was like, come on, let's keep doing it. It's stopping the run. Fred Warner is just super, just like, agile, moving. Like, he can cover that back midfield right there. I just think like we don't have enough pressures. Last year our things was sacks. We are horrible in sacks. So I was like, if we just get another D lineman on there, I would think it stops the run more because there's more bodies, and also we get more pass rush. So I'm really hoping that our defense does a lot more 5-man fronts or more blitzes, which I am hearing in camp we are doing more blitzes, which I am more happy about. So I'm excited for the defense.
Yeah, it's crazy. So look, Stribling. Is Stribling the real thing? Talk to me. 7 catches, 63 yards.
I think he's a really good person to combo with Mike Evans. I think Mike Evans is going to be kind of the deep out routes. Kind of on the sides. And he's a good balance to have someone that kind of cuts in the middle, almost did like the Juwan Jennings, because he does look very physical on the point of attack. He does look like he has strong hands. So I think he's a very good complement. I don't expect him at all to be the number 1 receiver going through this season, but I think he's going to be a good complement. And if we use him as a good complement, I think that's going to be a good role for him. And I hope we kind of use him like that as.
Okay. Do you think that you need to see more of him throughout the preseason, or you think he needs to be on a pitch count now until Melbourne?
And that is a very good question, because he did show out to where I think it's like, okay, we kind of know where he's at, so we could kind of put him aside. But at the same time, I don't want to kind of mess with his ego type of thing where it's like, okay, yep, we'll just stash you away. You're fine. You're good. And if he doesn't play, like, let's say the next 2 games, what if he kind of comes out rusty? So I kind of want to be in that gray area to where, hey, we'll sprinkle you in. We kind of put you in the first quarter, maybe the second, but I'll kind of cut it off after the second half, just so he can kind of keep that motion, keep the hot hand going into the regular season, already ready to go. But take him out of the second half, because, man, when it comes to this Niners team, every game I'm like, man, please don't get an injury. Please don't get an injury. So I'm kind of in that gray area where it's like, I want you in at least the first quarter, maybe a little bit of the second. If you take him out of the second, I won't even be upset. But I kind of want him to keep that hot hand. I don't want to take him out early, let's say in these next 2 games, and now he's rusty, and it's like, oh man, we should have kept him with the hot hand,
Yeah, I agree. I think the faithful, the supporters in the chat, dude, if this dude goes down, and I don't even talk like this, bro. I don't even talk like this. Like, oh, if he go, bro.
Yeah, this shouldn't be a conversation.
Important.
Yeah,
he is important, dog. Like, bro. Right now, he's the only guy in the receiving room that I honestly believe that defenses are going to have to account for. And I get all of the Kubiak. Debo looks more in shape than he ever has. That's because he's older. He has to be in more shape than he ever has.
Yeah, he's got his NFL body. He's been in the league. He should be in shape. There's like,
come on, bro. He had 4 or 5 months to beg to get on a team. He should be in the best shape that he's ever been in.
He was looking for a contract. You got to be in shape. You got to be all ready and ready to go.
Yeah, man. So I'm just, look, Stribling's important. All right, so close me out. Who impressed you that nobody's talking about?
Oh man, I liked Sebastian Valdez when he did that. I can't remember if it was a sack or a tackle for loss. I was like, who is that short, buff D lineman right there? I was like, who is that? And when I heard it was Sebastian Valdez, I was like, oh gosh, man. I was like, yes. Because I'm like I said, I'm big on trenches. I really love I really want to have a strong O line, but I know Niners don't draft that. And then I love our D line. So when I hear these names, like Sebastian Valdez, what's that other guy's?
James Thompson Jr.
Yeah. When I heard his name, I didn't know who that was. I didn't really hear his name a lot. So when I'm hearing like, oh,
are you talking about Grayson Holton too?
Oh, Grayson, no, that's another one. That one I was really impressed of. You know, I was really, because I was going in the draft, I wanted us to get trenches. So when we got Grayson Holton, I was like, okay, at least we got that. Even though I thought there was other people around, maybe we could have gotten better. But I mean, it's the draft. I really don't know how they're going to turn out. But the way he's turning out, I'm really, really liking where he's holding up himself in the run. He's moving players out the way to get those tackles. They're just not holding them and leaving them there. He's getting them out the way and also has pass rush. I'm excited about our D line. The D line impressed me. Another one, if I would say, what's Curtis Rourke? I'd say Curtis Rourke. I really hope we could keep him healthy. I really hope we could keep that guy healthy. Hopefully he's out of the, they say he's already out of the hospital. Hopefully he's doing.
Maybe we can get Kyle to stop, quarterback draws on the goal line. Maybe that'll help us out too.
Absolutely not. He's going to do that all the time. I thought he should have learned by Trey Lance, but I'm still seeing it like, nope, I guess no.
Hell nah.
He didn't fix it. But does it look like this is what Shanahan kind of wanted in an offense is good quarterbacks and a lot of passing, a lot of receivers? Because I think Shanahan, we were always good at running the ball, but I feel like Shanahan always wanted us to be a passing team. Does it look like that's kind of what he's finally getting that? Like all these different good receivers, good quarterbacks. If any of them go down, we got somebody to throw. Like they're up. Like, does it look
that's very interesting?
Is what Shanahan kind of always wanted? Even though he would want to run game, but like if he would have to choose, is this what it's looking like now? Because it looked like we were passing the ball a lot in this game, and I think this is what Shanahan wants us to be a passing team.
Yeah. So if you look at what we did on the ground, it's pretty anemic. 28 rushes for 84 yards, 3 yards a carry, only 1 touchdown. The longest run of the day was 10 yards, and that was by Adrian Martinez, who's a quarterback.
Yeah.
So that's a little frustrating.
Yeah.
But you got to reserve judgment on what's going on with the running back room because the top half of it is hurt. Now, to answer your question, whether you think that Kyle is kind of putting together like a buffet of options so he can always keep a certain level of play no matter what happens to the players, I think that that's incredibly foolish if that's what he's trying to do. Instead of like traditionally just trying to get the best guys out there and then developing the guys who you need to get ready. But we've seen it before in certain areas. I will say that I've always said that the Niners, that Kyle, the tenets of his offense are running the ball, but he always wants to pass. I think that Kyle has gotten his hand caught in the cookie jar a lot of times with games that could have been won if he would have simply ran the ball instead of trying to air the ball out. And when he gets comfortable with quarterbacks and he feels that quarterbacks can do whatever he wants them to do, more oftentimes than not, he's pushing the ball down the field. He's passing the ball. Saw what he did with Mac Jones earlier on with averaging almost 40 attempts per game for 3 weeks in a row. So, and Kyle's a receiver by trade. So sometimes old habits die hard. So, I would love to see him employ the running game a little bit more traditionally. But I think that You kind of can't do that when you don't get the right guys up front. So let's see what they do with the offensive line, see how that left guard competition rolls, and then we'll try to figure out where we are. Because one thing that your question touches on that I have a problem with this team is that it takes us a long time to find an idea offensively. Every year, we don't know what we do. We don't know what we do well. We don't know who we are as a team. It took us till week 6 last season to score a first rushing touchdown. So I would love for us to shit or get off the pot and come in with an identity this year offensively.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, man. Hey, thank you so much for the call in, man. Keep supporting, brother. Call in next time, man.
All right, All right, coach. See you next time.
All right. Hunter, my dog. What's good, baby?
What up, coach, man? Long time no see, brother.
Man, where you been, man?
Man, I've been here, there. I've been everywhere.
Don't nobody want to hear that shit.
Man, you know what?
Get out of here.
Man, I was watching, whenever you live stream all the games, I was watching all last season. That's how I watched the 49ers game. I just watch your live reaction to the game. Then I'll rewatch the game later on that day, just on the TV regular.
You my dog, man.
The
Thank
love
you,
and
brother.
support been there, baby.
Thank you, man. Thank you for the support, man. How you feel about the team, man? Give me your first impressions.
I think we look good, man, for what you can expect for a preseason game. Preseason, it's a game being played within a game, right? So we got guys out there. We just want to see, what they can do. You got some guys like Alfred Collins working back from injury. He out there just to get reps. So it's kind of hard to judge these preseason games, but I feel like for the intents and purposes of a preseason game, we didn't look bad. We didn't look great either, right? But we saw some promise, and we saw things that we can build on going into the regular season. And that's to me, that's the biggest thing. Like, as long as we seeing some good out there, we seeing some potential, then that's pushing us in the right direction. And as fans, that's all we can really ask for.
I'm not mad at that. That's a very sober take. I mean, you're almost kind of killing the content right now.
I know, man.
You turning this shit into Oprah, dog. That was really sane. Okay, what else you got?
I will say this though. I do feel like, and I know this was on the reaction show that you did with Larry and the rest of the guys the other day. There was a conversation like, "Oh, do preseason don't matter? Score preseason don't matter. This, that, and the third." But honestly, like, to me, you want to see your young guys play good because that's the depth of your team. So it generally is going to be twos playing against twos, threes playing against threes. It's no different than ones playing against ones. You want to see your ones dominate other ones. So when you get down into the second and third levels, we still want to see that domination, and we still want to see a win at the end of the day. I don't care if it's preseason, a meaningless regular season game. You always want to see your team win. Even if the season is dead in its regular season, it's like, okay, let's let our young guys play and see what potential we have going into the next season. We're not going to say, oh, well, we're not making the playoffs, so this game don't matter no more, right? As far as the results of the season, does it matter? No. But as far as letting your young guys play, seeing who's still hungry in a meaningless game, that matters. So to me, I would have liked to see us win the game, but maybe we can do it. Maybe we can do it next week. The Chargers are a much better team than the Titans. So if we look better next week, then that'll be a great sign for me as far as our young talent is concerned on this team. Because that's something we definitely need to work on, is drafting, developing, and turning this young talent into starters. Because that's something this organization has not done well.
Okay, so I want to have a conversation about that. I'm glad you brought that up, Hunter. So look, I think that the conversation, I forgot the guy's name. I think it was Nick, for the post-game show that we did with Larry. The conversation went off the rails because Nick was talking more about everybody being in preseason. And I did, there was about 4 or 5 of us up there, so I didn't want to cut him off. But I felt like they were missing the plot. And I agreed with what Nick was trying to say, but I didn't have a chance to clean up like his take because it had kind of already gone down the road of why do we care about preseason so much? We should be trying to win preseason games, which on its face is kind of funny, right? Which is like, all right, look,
oh my God, who the hell cares?
You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares. I get all of that. But there is something that Nick was touching on, which is in a dress rehearsal, the people on stage aren't the only people rehearsing. The engineers are rehearsing. The sound stage is rehearsing. The comms are rehearsing. Security is trying to figure out how the building looks while the sound is going on. Everything that's supposed to be working, operating as intended, and giving its desired function when the event happens is supposed to be getting its dress rehearsal during that time, right? So it's not just the talent getting on there to see if they look good and sound good on stage, because if that's all that is, with the talents ready to go, what happens if they figure out the lights don't work? The process doesn't work. The people forgot how to get the tickets together. The seats there aren't enough seats in the building, right? So everybody needs to rehearse. And I think that's what Nick was trying to highlight towards, which is there were game situations in that game Thursday night where the Niners clearly phoned it in, right? Where it's like, all right, yeah, it's near the end of the half. All right, we could push to go for a field goal right here. We could go to get this fourth down, but we don't need this. Let's get out of the half and let's move on. That's a situation where we could be going through process at that moment, where it's not only for the backup guys, the third string guys, where, yeah, I get it. They're not going to be in this position because it's going to be regular season. However, the coaching staff needs to go through this situation. Won't they be coaching during that? All right. We need to figure out how the comms is going to go during that situation. Won't that be working on during the regular season? So, yes, winning games, literally winning preseason games does not matter. I get that. But watching our football team during preseason, we want a regular season feel. And those are the things that if we get to Melbourne or we get to our first home opener and guys don't know how to close out a half, or it looks like we're mismanaging the clock on a 2-minute drill, or we look like we don't know what we're doing on a short yardage personnel package, then all of that stuff coming into the preseason is going to come roaring back where you guys could have worked on that. You could have worked on that during the preseason. So it's not just the players. The players aren't the only ones going through a preseason. It's the entire process that needs to be worked on. And yes, the Niners did let a potential 3.2 minute drill situation go out the window before the half of that game. They did.
Yeah. And this is the other point I wanted to make. Let's say, for instance, we would have went out here, we would have beat the Titans 30-0. Man, our fan base would be going crazy. The reaction will be different. So that's why I don't like all that, preseason don't matter. But also, I feel like from my perspective, my dad was a football coach. I come from a family of athletes. You know, my mom was state and track, softball, and basketball.
Talk about it.
I was always taught, you practice, you play how you practice.
Yes, you do.
You got lazy practicing habits, you will have lazy in-game habits. So in my opinion, you even in preseason games, you have to play it like it's a real regular season game. You can't say, oh, well, we're gonna go for it on 4th and 2 because it's just a preseason game. No, kick the field goal, play it, because guess what? Kickers need reps too.
Yep.
Play it how you would normally play it in that situation. Because how many times do we see in late game situations where it's not much time left on the clock? You getting the offense off the field, special teams on the field. That type of stuff has to be simulated. You have to practice that. Okay, boom. Hey, we need our special teams. We need y'all toes as close to the line as you can get. Because as soon as this play is over with, we need y'all running to the field. We need y'all set up so we can kick this field goal real quick. All of these reps matter. You know, all of these reps matter. And so we can say preseason doesn't matter in the grand scheme of how the season will play out as far as our standing in the division and our playoff seed and what we do in the playoff, no, it has no effect on that, but it does have an effect on the way that we play. And we don't get a lot of these reps. You don't get a lot of in-game reps because they took one preseason game off. And these young guys, since it's limited reps, we might not. Somebody might get people wash out of the league all the time, not because they talented, but because they didn't get enough time to show what they can do.
Right.
So
it's about
to
an
me,
opportunity.
all of this matters to me, but that could just be me being oversensitive to the process because I'm a very process-driven person and a person that feels like the effort that you put forward, like you don't take no plays off. I don't care. It's practice, preseason. I'm probably the guy that when I go down to my local rec and play basketball, they probably say, "Man, this dude too serious. We don't want to play with him no more." He's like,
it's an approach. I know what you mean. It's an approach.
In the mindset though, and I would like to see this team have more of a sense of urgency. Like I feel like man, we ain't never had that. I was like always, damn, we down by 14. Okay, man, maybe we could probably come back. No, it's no. Oh, we down by 14. All right, we about to get in their ass because this ain't how we play. I just always got that vibe from this team, man. But
yeah, I love the way they play. So look, let's get into Strib.
Man, I see the haters in the comments saying, "Oh, if you listen to the content creators, that if people saying he the best receiver since Jerry Rice, this is that and the third." Man, I feel like Strib is one of them picks where people said they reached for him. People said, he should have been this talent, that talent. Then reports come out saying that, oh, a lot of teams liked him. I think this might be one of the ones like where we got it right. And I have a theory. I think the only reason Striblin played was so that Curtis O'Rourke could have a decent receiver out there to throw to. Because they wanted to see what Curtis could do. And,
that is a fire ass take, Hunter.
Because
that's a very good take.
They done seen this dude in OTAs. They done seen this dude. They know he can play, man. They know he can play. So they was like, you know what? Let's put Curtis out there with Dejon. And what they probably hoping is they probably seen something from Curtis to say, man, this guy could probably be our number 2. Because remember, we did try to trade Mac, but the offers that we was getting wasn't really what we wanted.
Hey, bro, you know what? Let me tell you something. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about Mac Jones and as it pertains to Curtis Rourke. I talked about this in the post game, and people have to understand. Mac Jones is stolen goods, bruh. Let me kind of get a little you guys hip. If you ever bought anything off the street, okay, bro. If you buy something off the street, my man, I'm not paying store prices for something that's hot, bruh. I'm not paying that. Okay, you're gonna have to come up off that, bruh. You selling a car, you selling a laptop, you selling anything, bruh. $100, $200. I gotta get this off quick. I ain't about to be sitting on this. Niners fans, like the faithful, I love y'all, but you guys kill me with every time somebody comes into our building, we're hoarders. Like, oh, he's ours. Like he's got bruh, man. You better move off of this dude before we don't get anything for him. Yep. So what you gonna do? You gonna get something that's stolen goods, and then you gonna sit on it because you ain't getting the right price? It's stolen. You about to get locked up holding on to this shit. If you don't let that shit go,
man,
telling you, man. Everybody, we gotta hold on to Mac. Well, what do we get for Sam Darnold, bro? Come on, bro. Let Mac Jones go and get something for him. If Curtis Rourke is the backup, then make Curtis Rourke the backup and put some pressure on Brock Purdy when it's time to pay his ass again. But man, we are dreaming if we think there's any world where we get rid of Brock and keep Mac. It's time to move on from Mac before we don't get shit for him. We have to move on.
This is the last year on Mac contract, ain't it?
Yeah.
And see, that's why we probably couldn't trade him during the offseason because it seemed like well, I'm gonna pay for him today when I get him for free tomorrow. So
Yeah.
now that's why I think they put Curtis out there, because it's kind of like, okay, if we show Curtis can play, maybe that'll get a team like, man, I would say like even a team like the Falcons, where they signed Tua, they got Michael Penix, but neither one of them dudes look good
Come
last
on,
night.
man. And what they gonna give up? They're gonna give up bread for Curtis Worker. They're gonna give up bread for Mac Jones. They're gonna give up bread for Mac Jones.
So if we can move him, we need to move him, and we don't have to get nothing spectacular for it. Fourth rounder. I'm not gonna say a seventh rounder, sixth rounder. That's probably not worth it. But I would say a fifth, fourth, man. If we could get a third, man, I tell you, man, we'd be farting through silk if we can get a third for Mac Jones. But we get a fourth or fifth for Mac Jones, based on how Curtis looked and just knowing Kyle's track record with making quarterbacks look good. I would be comfortable going in with Curtis as the two, because nobody thought Brock Purdy would be, the guy that he is. Nobody thought that. Curtis.
Bro, I've seen enough. Curtis Work is all right, bro. He could be our number two.
Yeah, but then think about how bad Mac looked in New England at times. Now, Mac, Mac was looking like damn near a legit starter, at some points, last season. And even I went to a lot of games, in person last year. And, I feel like it's always different watching the game, close up, because you see stuff that you don't see on TV. And I feel like a lot of the reason that Mac had success with us last season is because of maybe the contrast in his personality versus, Brock's personality.
Hold on, you stay out there, Hunter?
No, actually, I live in Texas. But I just travel a lot.
You gonna be at the Dallas game?
Oh yeah, I'll be at the Dallas game for sure, bro. Yeah.
Man, we gotta link up, bro.
Yeah,
we gotta link up.
I'll be at the Dallas game for sure. But I don't know if I told you before, but my dad's side of the family is from DC. My mom's side of the family is from Texas. So
I can tell you from the city, bro.
Yeah,
what part of the city your dad from?
My dad is from Northeast. I grew up in Northwest. My grandmother has a house right behind Coolidge High School. So I went to Coolidge for 3 years. Then I transferred to Texas my senior year. Better competition for football in Texas. So
I couldn't stand Coolidge, them nasty ass orange uniforms, bro. I couldn't stand playing Coolidge, man.
The worst uniforms in my opinion, man.
They have the worst uniforms of all time. They're like the Browns of DC football.
Yeah, man.
They're the Browns.
Like we had the Browns uniforms with the Colts logo. Like
it's so bad, bro. It's so bad. Hey,
it's bad.
Yo, all right. So close me out. Who impressed you that nobody's talking about? Papa J, you're up next, man.
Hold on, one thing, real quick about Stribling.
All right,
this is my only concern about Stribling, and I posted this on Twitter today. I pray to God we do not get to the regular season and Kyle forget this dude is on the roster. And we at 3rd and 3, and I see Debo coming with it for an end around. I will crash out, bro. I will crash out. If we get to the regular season, and because this is the only thing about them playing with the twos that concern me. If we get to the regular season, or if we get to San Diego, or to LA next week, and if Mike Evans, Debo, and Christian Kirk out there, I'm crashing out, brother.
Hey, Hunter, we gotta do something. We gotta do some stuff, man. You in the content? You got a channel?
So I actually do content for comic books. I've been thinking about getting into sports more. I just never really pulled the trigger on it. But I've been thinking about doing it more. I've been thinking about doing it more and more. But we can talk about that offline. But man,
you got my email, right?
No, I don't.
It's on my channel. Hit look on the channel. My email in there.
Email you, bro. Or actually,
hit me up, bro.
Yeah. But so I'm gonna say this though. If Stribling is everything I think he is, and so I do best ball draft a lot on DraftKings. I started taking Stribling when he was going like in the 200s. Now he going in like the 130s to 120s. I believe in Stribling, like pretty much from the time that we drafted him. I went back and looked at his tape. If this guy is who I think he is, I think he, and no disrespect to Brandon Ayuk, I don't want to get into all that, but I think he's better than Brandon Ayuk. I think he's faster than Brandon Ayuk, stronger than Brandon Ayuk. And when Brandon was at the top of his game, he was a hell of a receiver for us. One of the most efficient NFL seasons in the history of the game. The last full season that he played, I think Stribling can be all that and more. I feel like he can be that true alpha number one receiver that we've been looking for. It's just about, man, Kyle, do not forget about this guy come regular season.
One last thing on Strib, and then I want you to get into number 3.
Okay.
I'll say this about Strib too. He got a smooth game. He's smooth.
Smooth.
You notice that about him? He's so big. But he's smooth. Like I'm telling you, the attributes that he has are so God given and like innate. He's not trying. You see what I'm saying? Like it's kind of effortless. He's really smooth. I love his game. All right, who impressed you that nobody's talking about?
So it's a guy that's already been on the team. We saw that he could play a little bit last year, but based on his interviews, based on a play I saw him have yesterday or were they before, and a guy that, man, I'm about to make a controversial take, but Tatum Bethune.
That ain't controversial.
I think he might play Dre off the field, man. I think he might play Dre off the field.
Hey, that's a real take. And I'm not mad at that.
Because it's one thing for a guy to come in and have some success. And I'm put it this way. I've been around a lot of NFL players. And the stuff that they talk about off the record. So it's when a guy know he got a spot on the team, you're going to see a difference in how he work in the offseason. You're going to see a difference in how he work. Tatum already know, like pretty much, I'm
good. I'm good. Yep.
But guess what? He came back with a better body. So you can't build a better body in a couple of weeks. As show me, you've been focused on your game all off season. He talked about how he worked with Johnny on his film, constantly stayed in his film, stayed in his playbook, and people think that football is just a job where players do this for 30-something weeks out of the year. No, this is a year-round dedication to your game. Your nutrition is every day. Every day of the year, your nutrition matters. Your hydration, your rest and recovery, all of that. All of that matters, year-round. Your attention to detail. You can't study for 30 weeks out of the year and then not do that for the rest of the year. You have to constantly be a student of the game. And I see that Tatum Bethune is taking that step to what separates the good from the great. And a lot of people are not going to hear this because we got a soft place in our heart for Dre Greenlaw, and we want to see Dre be successful. But sometimes, man, we don't always get the happy ending. And this is a young man's game. And when you see a young man like Tatum who had some success last year, kind of took a step back. I'm telling y'all, don't be surprised if Tatum played Dre up off that field. Because I'm telling you, all it takes is for Dre to have a couple of bad plays, for him to not look like his old self. Especially if we win in two.
Dre didn't look like his old self at Denver.
So
and people don't want to. I love Dre, but they don't want to recognize that. That's a real thing.
Yeah, because to me right now, Dre is just a name. Until I see more, Dre is just a name. And I always think about Bowman when he came back from his Achilles injury. Like, and I would say Bowman is a better linebacker than Dre Greenlaw, but even he couldn't come back from Achilles because it's the back pedal. Like, now you using that muscle to push back. Yeah, Batum, man.
We
You
got
know what?
no. Because first of all, this is what I'm gonna say, Hunter. We got to take integrity here at the coaches huddle. So what you are coming out with is a strong take. All right, you got to leave room for pushback. Now,
for sure.
Okay, so that's true about Tatum Bethune. Tatum Bethune's weaknesses, some of the weaknesses that he has is that he is not good in pass coverage. Okay, he needs to work on that. Now, we haven't seen enough because he went against, who was that? Mitch Trubisky. Didn't even play against Cam Ward, I don't think. But we have to see what type of improvement that he's taken in that level of his game. But your take got bones, man. That's a strong take because one thing that I'll take you back to even this. When Tatum Bethune got the job, when Fred Warner got hurt, his confidence on what he was going to do once he hit the field was letting everybody know it's different. Like, I am a starter. And how you open the take is beautiful because I agree with what you're saying, which is I'm around a lot of ball players too. And when you are safe on the team, there is a tendency to come in and just rest on the laurels of the development, right? Like, okay, I'll get better at practice. But when you get a taste, when you get first blood and you actually get on the field and you've been starting your entire life and now you get to play in a position where, Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw are not going to play forever. We are going to have to replace them. That's a fact, all right? So even having a conversation around them isn't disrespectful to either of those players. They're good, man. Those are our starting dogs, man. Those are our alpha dogs. We get it. But at the same time, the only reason why you have alpha dogs is because the strength of the wolf is the pack and the strength of the pack is the wolf. Okay?
Yes,
so ain't no way that all of a sudden Dre Greenlaw is beyond competition or getting pushed. And we're not about to start taking swipes at our own players just because there may be a better option down the line. Dre Greenlaw was not himself in Denver. Why the hell you think we got him for a discount? Come on, make it make sense. So we love Dre, but there's a world where, hey, he needs to be consistent, and there's an option there in Tatum Bethune. I like this take. Keep going.
So just to make some, I see the chat asking like, what year is Bethune? This is Bethune's second year.
Second year, bro.
So he's a second year player. You also got to consider when he started, he didn't. It's not like he came in as a number 2 linebacker on the depth chart. Like, he was further down on the depth chart, which means you got to work your way up. So he didn't get the reps, in the off season, that he would need to develop, accurately. Of course, now he's he playing with the twos. So he gonna see more reps in practice. He gonna see more reps in preseason. And then it's like, as far as the passing game go, the whole defense was shit last year, right? And it's tough to judge a guy on what he can and can't do when the whole defense is bad. It's just a hard thing to do. And then also it's hard to look good when you playing with lesser talent around you. And we were playing with lesser talent. So I think this will be a more fair year to judge Tatum and his progress. So I'm not gonna say, oh, he can't cover, in a passing league, because it's just a lot that goes into football, right? Like, somebody could be out of place before a line, and you might do too much trying to overcorrect somebody else's error, and that leads to you making a bad play or perceive that you made a bad play. So I'm not gonna get too deep in the weeds, on that. But I will say, he was drafted in the 24 and set for a year, 24, 25. Yeah. So yeah, this is third. Yeah, this is third. I mean, basically his second year, right? Because he set for a year. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he was further down the depth chart. Anyways, I was just reading the chat over there. So yes, technically this is his third year, but he basically red shirted a year. But actually playing, this is his second year. But yeah, I think Tatum Bethune, man, I'm really impressed. Because I'm just the last thing I'm gonna say, when I study the 49ers, I just don't look at the game. I go and try to find interviews with the guys that's not going to get the prime. I just don't look at interviews with Fred Warner, Christian McCaffrey, the top guys on the team. I want to see, okay, is anything out, any interviews with Tatum Bethune? You know, is it the Garrett Wallows? You know what I'm saying? Guys like that. Let me see what are these guys talking about? Because that's gonna give you the true, pulse of a team and tell you, and tell you what's really going on with these guys, where they state of mind is at. But again, my overall point is, and it's not even as much about Tatum as it might just be, a feel good story with Dre Greenlaw coming back, but we don't know if he's the same guy.
I'm not mad at that take at all, Hunter. I think that it's fair. And I do believe that Tatum Bethune did a phenomenal job instead of Fred Warner last season. Tell me what you think about how that would bear out as far as would Tatum Bethune and Fred Warner playing next to each other actually be the mix that you would want to see?
So I believe in situational football, right? Would they be like a base set that I would just, oh yeah, I would love to see them together? No, but it could be situations where that combination, will work better. But that's always kind of been my thing with Kyle is I feel like he don't reach deep enough into the bag of weapons that he has. It's like, man, dude, you come out there with your base AR-15. You don't want to put no scope on it. You don't want to put no bump stocks on it.
Iron sights.
Iron sights. Man, this man want to go out there with his iron sights. Like, come on, man. Like, dig a little bit deeper, in that bag. Mix some stuff up, mix some stuff up a little bit, right? Because sometimes like I might strictly want a guy out here because I know that he can rush the passer from anywhere, on the field. But you might have to sacrifice something that he might not do as well and disguise that and cover that up so that you can take advantage of what this guy can do really well. But I feel like Kyle is like, all right, we got our base set. This is going to cover a lot of things, and we don't want to deviate from that because he feels like, hey, I don't want to tip the defense off if this guy's out here, or even on offense, if this guy's out here, this is what we're going to do because Kyle predicates his offense on a lot of deception and misdirection. So it's like, but sometimes like you have to play a game within the game, and it's like, okay, I know, let's just say Tatum isn't a good coverage guy, right? Oh, this guy's not that good in coverage. He don't want to say, all right, let's find a scheme where we can cover that up so we can use him on what he's good at. You know what I'm saying? So we can get more because here's the thing, when you're in the kitchen cooking, you can only cook with the ingredients that you got.
Right.
If you ain't got something and you can't go to the store and get it, you got to make best do with
you got to make
have.
best do. You got to make do.
And I feel like that's where Kyle comes short is that he doesn't make best do with what he has because he doesn't want to go off of what his base is. Like, this is my base and I'm staying here. I'm not going outside of that. And I think sometimes that's what cost us, because we should have had 1-2 Super Bowls already. I think that's something that's like the core thing that always costs us is Kyle does not want to go outside of his base and try, different things. I'm pretty sure like he's the type of guy that only eat fries and chicken tenders with ketchup, put ketchup on his steak. Like I don't think Kyle is a foodie. I think he just like, yeah, man, just give me a burger, some fries, and a Coke, and I'm good.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. But yeah, like, man, yeah, I say Tatum Bethune look good. And then like I said, man, earlier, Curtis looked good, man. Like I said, I strongly believe they had Stribling out there just to see what Curtis could do. And Curtis, man, those as good as those balls, Stribling caught them balls, right? Balls. But Curtis he was on point with the passes that he was throwing to Stribling. So that, like, even though we didn't win the game, man, I feel like it was a lot of good that came out of here, man. It showed that we still a good ball club. We got more depth than people think. And I promise, I know I'm preaching y'all, but this is the last thing I want to say. I know the people got like the Seahawks top in this division, the Rams too. But if people gonna say we are old team, the Rams, if you look at the nucleus of their team, they're old team too. Matt Stafford, old. Devontae Adams, old. And Devontae Adams' productivity is actually dropping down. And I heard a rumor that the Rams were actually trying to trade for AJ Brown because they worried about if Devontae can hold up for the entire season. But even guys like Kyron Williams, like he not young no more. Like that team, man, is not that the Rams, they're a good team, but they not far ahead of us. And the Seahawks, they a good team, and I feel like they not far ahead of us either, man. Like if some of these young guys we got, if we can actually develop and get these guys to play a level above where they at, man, we gonna make some noise. We're gonna make some noise in the West. So I'm feeling pretty good, man. I'm feeling pretty good about what we got coming because I see a lot of young guys out there that's showing some promise, and we really haven't seen that in years past, man. We really haven't. I feel everybody we talking about from this preseason game, young guys, young guys. Young guy.
I love that. It's a youth movement, and we've been talking about this the past 2 to 3 years. Even in 2024, coming off that 2024 Super Bowl appearance where we lost, the biggest part that we talked about was that we're old. We have to get young guys, and really, it's good to see. Finally, the draft is translating. So we got some young guys. But listen, Hunter, I love this Dre Greenlaw, Tatum Bethune take. I think that it's strong, and it's got legs. We'll be able to see it, bear it out. I hope that it doesn't come to fruition because we love Dre. We want Dre to play, 100%, and we want him to be exactly what he was when he left here. That's not what we're saying. But we are being honest and reading the tea leaves and understanding that competition is always happening, and it's good to have a guy like Tatum Bethune in the building because. Don't look now, but he does mimic the intensity. Like I know we get accustomed to optics and we love it the way Dre does it. But that don't mean that he's the only dude who plays with that type of fire. It's not just for Dre Greenlaw. All right, I love Dre, but he ain't the only one. There's other linebackers who play with just as much intensity as him, who play just as hard as him. And guess what? There's somebody on the team who is like that. And I think that that's Tatum Bethune.
Yes, sir.
It is what it is.
Yes, sir. And even if we can have rotate Bethune in, like that'll be a benefit to the team as well as far as helping protect Dre and keep him healthy. So, man, Coach, it was fun doing this, brother.
Hey, man,
like hopefully we'll work together again soon. 49er Nation, love y'all. I'm out.
Hey, man, talk to you, Hunter. Great call. Email me, man. We're gonna talk. Papa J, my dog. How you doing, man?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for your patience, brother. How you doing?
Oh, not at all, man. That was a great call, Hunter. Man, you tore it up, buddy. He's from Texas, right? Man, he tore it up real good, man. I'm actually hating that I have to follow that now.
Talk to me, man. So the board is open, man. Let's get this because he made me build a take. Shoot.
That's pretty good though. You did that real quick, man. That was good. Hey, I just got to say, first time here. I've been watching you for a long time, man, and it's a privilege. I finally made it, Mom. I finally made it to the show. This is the man here that I've been telling you about.
My man, Papa J.
Man,
hey, Papa J, you are a Coach's Huddle veteran. You have been in the chat since day one. We absolutely love your support, brother, and it's glad that you've been able to make it on the call-in show, man. What's going on, man? How you feel?
Thank you for accepting me here. Just want to give a quick shout-out to the lady of the house, Julie. Julie, man.
Julie.
Love her.
The first lady of the Coach's Huddle, outside of Mrs. Coach. Exactly. The first lady. The team mom of the Coach's Huddle. Julie. We got to love her.
Oh, man. Yes. Julie's awesome. So it's awesome that you put her as a moderator here. Love her. Great job. But
we'd love to get her on the call-in show, Julie. You've been hiding from us. Definitely, Julie, you got to come on the call-in show, Julie. We got to call you out, sweetie. You got to come on.
Yeah. But yeah, man, let's get into this. Like I was saying, Hunter, man, that was awesome. want to go off a little bit about Bethune and the Dre Greenlaw thing. I think having Dre, Bethune, and Fred alternating, keeping Fred fresh, I think it's going to be a good thing. Put Greenlaw out there, but with Bethune a series or two, and then bring in Fred and take out Greenlaw and bring in Bethune and just keep them rotating, man, because it's going to be a long season, and this is a hard league, especially our division. This NFC West division is incredibly hard, the best division in the league, and I think alternating our linebackers is going to not only keep Fred fresh throughout the season, but the longevity of his career also. And it's going to preserve Dre Greenlaw also through the season and maybe even longer. And the best part about it is that Bethune is going to be able to get those reps in. Don't keep him hiding. He's going to get those reps in because he is the future. He is the future of this linebacking room. You got thoughts on that?
Yeah, I really do. He's not the only one that I'm excited about as far as the linebacking core right now. We got Jaden Duggar. We've all been just geeking out over Jaden Duggar. I think he's somebody else who's going to help us out. Tatum Bethune, which we talked about. Larry Worth III, very happy about Larry Worth III. So there are some young guys in the linebacking core that I'm super excited about. So yeah, I agree. It's not just Tatum Bethune, but if you look at what we did defensively in Thursday night's preseason game versus the Tennessee Titans, man, Tatum Bethune was right there with Nick Martin, and he's another one. 2 solo tackles, 6 total tackles in all, 1 sack, a tackle for loss, and 1 QB hit. The play of the game, you could even argue, was the buzz blitz by Tatum Bethune off the edge, blasting past the running back and getting a would-be tackle on the quarterback from Tennessee. So, yeah, the guys are showing a lot of promise, and I think the linebackers showed out as far as a group is concerned. Pretty much one of the most well-developed groups that we saw Thursday night. So far, so good. Talk to me about Stribling. Is he the real thing?
Stribling, man. Well, I think it was at the end of last season. I went on Terradome's show. Terradome. Man, you got to get on his show. By the way,
I got to get on Terradome. You're right. Man, you're right. I have to do that.
He's got a great live show all the time. You're in the East Coast, also, right?
Yeah. I'm in the DMV.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Definitely get together with him, man. I would love to have you over there and talk to you also on his show. But awesome. we were talking last season on what we need to improve our game, and I said we need a great wide receiving room. I said in a perfect world, it would be awesome if we could get a Justin Jefferson out here, but it wasn't going to be possible. But somebody like him in his caliber. And we got Mike Evans, and I think that's a great thing. And then we got Stribling, first pick, and I wasn't hating on that. I'm not a college guy. I don't watch, college ball, college ball or baseball or anything like that. I just watched the draft and then start watching highlights. And I like what I saw through the highlights. And one of the things that kind of gives it a positive note is throughout this training camp is that even the haters, even people that are critics, Grant, that hate on the Niners sometimes, Jesse, they're
my dogs, man.
I know. Yeah. That's why I had a cough in there.
I know. I know. But yeah, they love him. They love Stribling. I was high on Stribling in the draft process. I really thought that he was a great fit for us because of the size, the speed. Then I actually went and watched the tape, and I was like, man, but I liked him, to be honest with you, I liked him as a steal. I did. I liked him as like a 3rd round guy, maybe in the because at the time, I believe the Niners had 4 4th round picks at that time. And I was really chomping at the bit to get him as like one of the earlier 4th round picks. But, he went out, and I think it was his pro day. And about 1 week before the draft, that the secret was out. Design Stribling, like you couldn't even on the mock drafts, Design Stribling was off the board by second round. Yeah. You know, like even by the time we got to him, because at that time we had a late second round pick. So he wasn't even going to reach us by then. So I think Design Stribling, people want to say that he snuck up on us. He didn't. People were just a little late to the party. He's a very talented receiver.
Absolutely. And, everybody, like through training camps, they haven't said anything negative about this guy. And that's very rare. Some people will say, he struggled. I'm not sure about him. But ever since training camp started, nothing but praises all the way around from everybody. So that gave me a little confidence in him. But seeing him play, with watching him with my own eyes, man, he reminds me of Crabtree. I was on Captain Niners chat while the game was going on, and I told him, I said, man, this guy reminds me of Crabtree. But then Grant came out right away and said, hey, he looks like Crabtree. I said, all right, so let me mix it up. Instead of using Crabtree, let me throw something else out there because, I have to. And I think his body movement is like John Taylor's, and he's got strong hands like Randy Moss. And I can see like his overall kind of a little bit of TO in there, So if you mix all three of them together, and I told Captain Niner, if I'm going to reach this far and try to mix people up to compare one person, that means he's his own person. We've never had somebody quite like him in a long time at least, and he's making his own mark. We're going to be later on, hopefully, we'll be comparing other wide receivers to Stribling instead of Stribling to other wide receivers. So I'm absolutely loving Stribling. I think that Kyle should throw him out there. Don't keep him in the background. We ain't got no time to play, man. This guy is the real deal.
Yeah. And I agree. I have a couple of player comps that I have not heard about Design Stribling that I think are one for one. Brandon Marshall. I think that Design Stribling is Denver Brandon Marshall. Like if you go back and you watch Brandon Marshall in Denver with the speed that he has, the strength, the length, the size, big hands. I think we're kind of looking at Brandon Marshall, and he's a little bit. I agree with you. He's a little bit of TO. Yeah. And if you look at the just kind of like the rawness of his game, and this is somebody who was very polished later in his career, but he gives me like Pierre Garçon vibes.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
I see that.
I think B. Marshall, man, Brandon Marshall is a big. I think you go back and watch Brandon Marshall and tell me he's not Design Stribling. I see it.
I'm gonna have to check it out again, but I remember him. I see where you're coming from, but I'm gonna have to watch him again a little bit more.
Okay, so Papa J, close us out, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Who impressed you that nobody's talking about?
I'm really liking Herbert, man.
Khalil Herbert?
Khalil Herbert he impressed me a little bit. We have no O-line. I mean, let's be real. I mean, McCaffrey last year, he was gaining 3 yards per play, and that's what we were at right now. But coming off the backfield and making those catches and going far, I think if we get a good O-line going, because we had none of our starters out there anyways, but behind the good O-line, I think this guy is going to tear it up, man. Especially now that, all our running backs, our backups are not there, Black and Jordan James. I think Herbert is going to be coming up behind them until we get them back. That's my opinion. And that's, he's going to be a practice squad body. But, for the little bit that I saw, he impressed me. Curtis Rourke, man, that dude, I was hoping to watch him because we redshirted him last year, and I was wondering, why are we going to waste a spot on a red shirt? We don't know nothing about this guy. He's not that impressive. He's not like a first round pick kind of guy to redshirt him and keep him around for a whole year. And so I was kind of interested in watching what Kyle and everybody else saw in him. And boy, he looked great out there. He looked like a young Peyton Manning out there, just his stature and the way he stayed in the pocket, and even the way he moved around was better than Peyton's. But I was really impressed with Curtis Rourke. He really put that Maple Missile word nickname to work. I really liked him. Also number 58. Bell.
I know you're talking about Quentin Bell.
Bell, man, he impressed me too. He did all right.
Yeah, so I really like Quentin Bell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Quentin Bell. There you go. I think he did great. So those are my guys right there.
Papa J, I love the call. Please keep calling in, man. I love you in the chat, but I love the engagement, man. Call in, brother. I love it, man. Thank you so much for calling in, man. It was a great call.
Much love to everybody. And come around at Terradome's
yes.
podcast, man. Get over.
We got to get Terradome back in the chat. He must be something's going on because usually he'll be here by now. But hey, yes, we'll talk to you. Thank you so much, Papa.
All right. Take care, man.
All right. Vin, you ready? Vin's not ready. Nick, you ready?
Yo, Coach, what's up?
My dog.
What's going on, Killer?
Talk to me, man.
So I got 3 quick things for you. Grayson Halton, stud. I don't feel like no one's talking about Grayson Halton. And
really?
Yeah, because I don't think people are giving him enough credit. He missed a couple days of training camp, came back in. I thought he looked the best out of all defensive linemen on Thursday. Mm-hmm. And Prysock, man.
Ephesians Prysock. That's so true.
Locking up Carnell Tate, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
That play when at the end zone when he swatted that ball away, that's exactly what you envisioned for him. That length. That length is so crucial. All these like good corners nowadays, man, are just so much longer than everyone else. And Prysock, dude, like if he's that dude, that changes their defense completely. If he can end up being that dude.
Well, okay. So
I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but
that's true. And I do too. This is what we're here for. I'm a traits guy too. He looks amazing in his fucking pads. Like, okay, so yes, I'm a traits guy. He's got range. Yeah, he looks so fucking good.
And he's got that swag too that you need.
That 35 is fucking hideous though. He needs to get rid of that 35. But it's like, but outside of that, dude, he is nice, son.
Yeah.
All right, but he's a little grabby. All right, it was against Cardinal Tate, which is a high picked rookie, but he's still a rookie.
No, for sure.
We have to see more. There's got to be a consistency level where we see more out of Ephesians Prysock. But dude, he looks good on the field, bruh. And honestly, Carnell Tate didn't even look like he belonged out there with him, to be real with you.
If I was not a football guy and me and you were sitting watching the game and you told me Stribling was a top 5 pick and Tate was a 2nd round pick, I probably would have believed you.
Yeah. If we would have said that Ephesians Prysock is like our 3rd round corner that we picked up this year, we're working on him, people would have believed you. They'd have been like, all right, yeah, he's developmental, good size. Yeah, I get that. I understand. So look, Ephesians, but also on Ephesians, we have to admit, because I was on him when we got him in the draft.
Yeah,
I was really big on him. I really liked him. I really liked him. But I kept asking Larry, asking Grant, listening around. Nobody was saying anything about him during camp. Like, he's just there. He's not really doing anything.
That's like not a bad thing either.
True.
True. Like, okay, so
and they don't see everything too.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, you got you're Stribling all of his flash plays, this, that. I feel like if you're a rookie and you're not shining, but you're also not in Grant's like worst of the worst for that day, I feel like you're in a good spot. You're in a good spot. If Grant and Larry and all those guys are not ragging on him, he's figuring it out. He's just staying the course.
What? That is very true. It's kind of like if you didn't do enough to get Grant and Larry's attention, right? Good or bad, but you went through practice, it could stand a chance that you could have had a solid day.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But just nothing was really noteworthy of what you did.
It was a solid day at the office. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But Grayson Hall, man, what'd you see from him on Thursday?
Exactly what Coach Kasarik said. He plays with great pad level. He's extremely explosive, plays with intensity and relentlessness. All of the buzzwords that you want to hear from a defensive tackle. One thing I do like about him is that his lower half is very developed. Pause. But he's got strong legs. All right. He's got a really good base. Once he gets moving from offensive lineman and he rocks back from the top half of offensive lineman, he elongates. He's really good. He's got a really good long arm, right? Defensive linemen, they understand this phrase that one arm is longer than two, right? You get to blade yourself, get a guy, really push yourself out there. It creates real good traction for you to get to the quarterback. He also had some good run stuff in play.
I was just going to say, he got off blocks real nice.
He got off blocks very well. So, look, there's a world where Grayson Halton is exactly who we thought he was. And, I'm excited about him. I believe that there's a log jam at D tackle right now.
Yeah.
Because you got to do something with Bryson Eason, James Thompson Jr., and don't look now, Sebastian Valdez.
I'll give you a little hot take real quick.
He had a good game.
Very good game. Also, you know who should be looking around the locker room and in that room?
Alfred Collins.
Bro, your time is almost up, my dude.
Come on, son.
Because I watch all your streams. You, Larry, Grant, everyone. And I forget whose channel said it. I think it was one of Larry's channels, and he was saying that, there's always, the coordinators like certain guys versus, I don't know if Raheem Morris likes Alfred Collins. I'm going to be straight up. I think that's just one of those guys where he's like, yeah, Robert picked this dude, but I don't like this dude.
Damn it, man.
I know, because he ended the year last year playing really well. It's just, what else can you give me besides the run? You got no pass rush moves, which is fine, but even against listen, man, he got pushed around Thursday night.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Raheem and Kyle and John wanted to see him play.
You know what? That's interesting that you said that.
Because
he's a starter.
DJ West didn't play Thursday.
That's true. He's a starter. He came off of injury and he still played.
And multiple drives.
That's interesting. That's telling.
Multiple drives, too. It wasn't all right, let's knock the rust off. You didn't really practice that much. Let's throw you the first drive of the game. Let's see that. Dude, they were like, no, Alfred, you're playing the first couple drives, dude. We're going to really see what we got with you. And I wasn't really happy with what I saw from him, in all honesty. I thought he got pushed off the ball too many times. I was a little shocked. I was like, wow. And then when I saw him out there, the third drive, the fourth, I was like, oh my God, Raheem's not taking no shit with this dude. You're playing, dude. You're earning your spot back. Your spot's not there.
All right, so I want to reply to this comment because GTC Reels is my dog. They're not cutting. Yeah, they are not cutting Collins. I agree he needs to be in the multiverse, but they're not cutting a draft pick. They're not going to cut him.
No, I'm even thinking
they're not going to cut him.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to cut him. But what if?
But I will tell you what they will do.
They'll trade.
They will move his ass.
Call Robert. Hey, Robert, you like this guy so much? Take him off our hands.
Hey, if Trey Lance ain't safe, ain't nobody safe. You hear me?
Yeah.
They shipped Trey ass out of here off 3 games. They gave me I have a whole new appreciation for the word cut bait. All right, listen, they get rid of some shit out here. They don't play no games.
Yeah.
Play around with Alfred Collins if you want to.
Yeah, listen, I liked him last year. He made, I will never forget sitting in my backyard watching him punch out that football at the 1 yard line the Thursday night game last year. He punched that ball out of Kyron Williams' hands. That play was
awesome.
Awesome play. But, I think he might find himself with the odd man out. Because I didn't know how, with the training camp reports coming out, how much of 5-man fronts they were going to do. I actually thought that we saw a lot more 5-man fronts than what I thought we were going to see on Thursday.
I did, especially in pressure downs.
Yeah, even I don't know if I think it was the first or second drive of the game. It was 3rd and 13, and Raheem blitzed. He blitzed. I mean, they ended up doing a tight end screen, but the aggressiveness I like though. I like that Raheem was no, we're gonna go after these dudes.
I agree with that.
And also, last thing I'll say, Coach, I was also shocked of how good our rookies looked against the first year. And listen, the Titans are not a great team. That's
They're
for the
trash.
ones. Robert
They're
Saleh wants
trash
to come.
though.
No, yeah, but I'm saying like Robert Saleh wants to come in there and be like, guys, we're playing. We're gonna kick these boys' ass. It was the opposite. He probably went back into that locker room after the game and was like, yo, we are so far away. We just got our asses kicked by the San Francisco 49ers second team defense
Yeah.
with a bunch of
Yeah.
rookies, with a bunch of babies playing on that side.
I mean, the Titans being ass isn't really like news.
No, I know.
You know,
Last thing I'll say,
us.
Coach, before you let me go,
Okay.
because we had a problem running the ball on Thursday. Do you think that is something telling where we're gonna see more of that, like from last year, or do you think that was just like the third string offensive line? Like how do you think that shakes out at the going into the year with the run game?
No starters played except the guys that are vying for the left guard position.
Which I wasn't really impressed with any of those guys. I mean, I know you're the O-line guru over here, so you'll be able to.
I'll tell you who I like though. Austin Pleasance was just fine.
That's who
loved Austin Pleasance. All right. Carver Willis had very good bright spots. He's not ready. He's not ready yet, but he will get ready.
You like him at center more or guard?
Yeah, I like him at center.
Yeah, me too.
Isaac Alarcon, Brandon Parker, and Enrique Cruz. My God, you want to talk about struggling. All three. So I'm more concerned with our tackles struggling. Viridian Lowe needs to come back like yesterday.
ASAP.
We got to figure out what's going on with Viridian Lowe. But look, I'll put it this way. You know, we got to see what the starting offensive line looks like before we levy any judgment.
Yeah.
I like Austin Pleasance as a swing tackle. Robert Jones, like I said before earlier with another caller, we got to keep context with Robert Jones. He missed an entire season with a neck injury.
Yeah, even when people were saying like, oh, he looked a little out of shape, well, it's like, yeah, he hasn't played and he hasn't did football activity for a year, and then he only had a week of training camp, if that's even a couple days here, a couple days there, and then it's game time. It's like, he's gonna look.
So we're gonna see him all preseason because he just needs to get ready. So it's hard when you know that. How hard do you evaluate?
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I hear you.
So there are some guys just kind of. There you go. There's a lot of guys just kind of getting their feet wet. A lot of rookies who are just getting their first time. All of those tackles that I named, except the Isaac Alarcon, this is their first real NFL action. So I'm reserving judgment. The offensive line wasn't great. The running game wasn't awesome. It wasn't good at all. But this is a running game that we presumably would have been seeing Keelan Black and Jordan James run the ball a little bit yesterday. I mean, on Thursday, not Zamir White and Khalil Herbert and just guys we picked up off the street. So again, how can I evaluate guys that just came off the street, bro? I know what it's supposed to look like. And it looked like that. It looked like we got a bunch of guys off the street. Sincere McCormick looked good. I like what he did.
Downhill, pretty freaking.
He does. Yeah, he is a good downhill runner.
Mm-hmm. Jordan Watkins also looked pretty good, solid on Thursday.
Jordan the second best receiver that we had.
Yeah. Dribbling. The way I'm with dribbling. Before you let me go, Coach, dribbling. You get 1 or 2 series with Brock next week, and then I'll see you in Melbourne, kid. That's it.
I agree with you. Hey, Nick, thank you so much for the call. Call in again, brother.
Coach,
we'll talk.
Appreciate it.
Vin, been waiting on you, dude. Vin has been having an entire show by himself in the backstage. He's been laughing. He's been crying. He's been all over the place. Vin, how you doing, dog?
Oh, I'm living the dream, Coach.
Talk to me, man.
So, where to begin? Can I get the graphic again? Sorry, my memory's not that.
Let's go. You deserve the graphic every time. So far, so good. Talk to me about how you feel about 2 weeks of camp.
Pretty good. Camp sounded all right. I really like to wait for the preseason games and the joint practices because, camp is camp. I mean, guys beating up on each other. Am I supposed to be impressed that Evans is, Moss and tiny little Upton Stout and even beating Lenore? Nah, that's not really interesting. I want to see how they go against other guys who are trying to make a name for themselves, trying to make a career for themselves.
Agreed.
And so, from what I hear, from what I had seen, at least Thursday, I would say broadly speaking, it was pretty good. I kind of want to throw a little cool water on some of this just because I think our biggest weaknesses are still our biggest weaknesses. They do not look like they're running the ball effectively at all. And that's going to be
it was horrible.
On. And I mean, yeah, you were saying, right, just guys off the street, running the ball. But like, dude, if this is the future, like they're going to have a problem. I mean, maybe not, they were doing pretty good last year, just slinging the ball around. Brock had a great year. I mean, minus the injury, and even Mac. So I kind of got to stand on business a little bit in the sense that, like, I am not going to say I am not very pleased with Deshaun Stribling's performance. He came out and played better than I even expected. I'm really happy for that. I'm glad they got a future player. But I still firmly believe they needed a left guard. They, rolling out Robert Jones, Connor Colby as their left guard spot is like, to me, that's just not acknowledging the problem that's been the big problem since the get-go. They do not win in the trenches offensively, especially. And I am always been of the mind, if Kyle, and I do think this Kyle is very, very good offensively. I think he can find receivers. I don't think he needs premium quality receivers to get a guy open. He can scheme a guy open, but he can't scheme, an offensive lineman to actually push off the point of attack. And so, I'm happy with a lot of things, but I still think the biggest weakness is again, the run game and the offensive line. And I was pretty disappointed too with the defensive line outside of Grayson Holt. Grayson Holt looked fucking great. Pardon my French. Man, you split those double teams. He looked like he belonged out there. I'm very excited for him. But I mean, Alfred Collins looked really disappointing too. I mean, he was getting washed out of the run game. He didn't get any pressure. I mean, I'm kind of the mind that he's probably still a little dinged up. I don't
coming off injury. That's true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He didn't have the whole offseason to, he's probably rehabbing, not practicing, not improving. So
that's true.
I want to hold out judgment for him because I've been pretty high on him. You punch out a game-winning fumble, like you earn a lot of grace.
Tenacity, man. Yeah, I mean that's a moment. I'm not mad at you. Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly think too, like guys like Afunga and him, like they have that like big play tenacity, and like those things win you games. You can't see it on a balance. You can't really see it on a stat sheet so often, but like, you can't really teach that type of thing. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. As far as no one's talking about, gosh, I really like Prysock and Duggar. I mean, I think those are two guys who look good in Niner uniforms. I'm really glad. Those are the type.
They just look good, right?
Yeah, don't they? My God, just the way when you deflected that pass, it looked like little brother playing big brother, where you just like, oh, you think you're gonna catch this? Nah. And
he looked way bigger than Tate. He physically just looked imposing over Carnell Tate.
Absolutely. And one thing I was really looking forward to is because of adding a guy like Prysock, the new position coach we got, I think his name is Gray. I forget exactly.
Yeah, Coach Gray. Jerry Gray.
Coach Gray. A guy like that is going to work wonders with players like him, with players like even fucking Jair Brown. I really think guys like that are going to see a better year because of a really good secondary coach and play like that. So those guys I look really excited for. As far as Bethune, I think funnily enough, I think Bethune probably had one of the best games. But at the same hand,
talk to me? I want to hear the take because Hunter raised the take. Talk to me about Tatum Bethune.
It's a passing league. And if you can't stop the pass, you're going to get picked on constantly. I like him. I like his energy. I like the style he plays. But if you can't cover, it's a problem. They're going, especially with McVay in this division, they're going to pick on him all day, every day. And that's not going to go away. And part of the reason we have success against teams like that is because of guys like Fred Warner, because guys like Drake who play pretty well, covering tight ends, covering in little shallow areas. And again, he looked great with that blowing up that running back and getting a guy for a sack. That was probably one of the best plays of the game. But I mean, a one-way linebacker, I don't necessarily see it. He does look good. He looks better than he did last year, but yeah, I don't want to say he's not it. I think he's talented. I think he's got something there, but he's also the type of player that's like, he's going to max out at a certain point. He's not like Ephesians Price or even Alfred Collins, right? Those guys you can't teach.
I love this take because it's polarizing. Either some people agree with it or some people are like, hell no. So I mean, and at the same time, it's not a ridiculous take. If this wasn't worth responding to, you would hear that in the chat, like, hey man, stop being funny. But we all love Dre, and we know that Dre is a great player. But you can't argue with the things that what we're saying is that Dre is not the version of himself that he was before he left. If he was, he would still be in Denver. Okay. If he was, we wouldn't have lowballed him in the first place. He'd still be here. Okay. So all of that matters. All of that matters. So there's a conversation there, and I hope that this is a nothing burger. But if it is, you can say that you heard it first on the coach's huddle. I just want to hear what you got to think about it, Vince. I just want to hear what you got to say about it. That's all. A little talking never hurt anybody. I just want to hear what you got to say.
If I'm going to bet on anyone, I'm liking Duggar to maybe take his spot. I mean, I don't know if
okay,
but I mean, this guy can do it all. I mean, wasn't he a safety too? He played D line. I mean,
converted safety. Yep.
Dude, come on. I mean, you can't prepare a guy better for it. Nah, I'm not trying to slander Dre. I mean,
they're talking about us. They're talking about us. Like we're dipping our toe into slanderific slandersons. That's all. That's all we're doing. All we're doing is playing what if a little bit. That's all. We love Dre.
I really do like Dre. However, I can't sit here and pretend he's even my favorite Niner linebacker I've seen in my lifetime. He'd probably maybe be fourth.
He's not better than Navarro Bowman.
No, not better than Patrick Willis.
He's not better than Patrick Willis.
He plays different than Fred, but he's certainly not better than him. I mean, I like him a lot, but I'm not like, he's not like one of my forever, like, you got to be a Niner forever type player. But it's not to say I wouldn't want him on the team. He brings the right type of energy, but that's not the same as saying, nah, this guy's, Hall of Fame or, Hall of, what do they call it? Hall of really good players of your team, whatever the fuck.
Yeah. The Ring of Honor.
Yeah, Ring of Honor.
That's
like, that's a kid who had a perfect attendance. His grades were kind of buns, but he always showed up. That's
just didn't go anywhere. Yeah. All right.
But he was there.
So let's get to it, man. Stribling. How do you feel about him?
I gotta eat crow a little bit in the sense that, like, I definitely would not have drafted him, but I'm very happy he's on our team now.
Why wouldn't you have drafted him?
Because we need a guard. We need a real guard. I'm tired of this, what do we like, the digging through the Walmart DVDs of offensive linemen? Like, that's
the $5 heap.
Yeah, sometimes you get you find a gem in there. You see Goodfellas or Training Day for $5, but
yeah. But outside of that, you get Punjab Paradise, or Air Bud. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's just, it's not gonna cut it. That's the thing, and I don't know. I'm happy we got him now. Like you said before, he's in the jersey now. We can't redraft him, but like, the problem that's going to haunt us in the end, again, is going to be continually, we can't get any push at the point of attack. We can't effectively run the ball in short yard situations. And that's going to kill us. That's what killed us last year. And I'm hoping it doesn't. I hope I'm wrong, but I think that's going to be that's going to be what does us in again. I think we could go really far, but that's, again, bad push and bad run game are going to hold us back big time. And, I like, though, that he does seem like he's going to be a guy of the future. I think he who must not be named was supposed to be part of that plan, and that,
True.
went up in flame. So it kind of makes sense if we're going to, carry on with this young core, Brock leading it. He needs a guy that's going to be a consistent number one, who's going to follow him sort of through his career a bit. I mean, this is getting way ahead, but who did Peyton Manning had that guy Peyton T.Y. Hilton for a long time. Now, I'm not saying Brock's Peyton and Deshaun Stribling's T.Y., but the idea of just having a legit number one guy to be with your good quarterback forever is of vital importance, I think. That he needs someone that's going to be able to go there every time. He's going to show up on the edge or, working on the slot, whatever, right? Kittle's already old. We can't rely on him in the future. No one else in the wide receiver room is going to last past next year, and certainly not the year after that. So, I think it's going to turn out to be a prudent pick, even if it wasn't something I would have necessarily done. So, that's what I think of him.
Not mad at you. I love your takes, man. Just straight, sober, down the middle. Finish this out. Close this out with this one. Who impressed you that nobody's talking about?
If I had to pick one, I got to say Grayson Holton. I think he's the one that made me the most pleased. Having a real D lineman who's going to get some pressure up the middle, be a presence on the line. I really like that. Second best would still be Price Hawk. So Lynch got it right. Got it. He got it right. Broken clock.
Steve-O was insufferable. All right, so I'll be like Grayson Holton, man. Hey, Vin, thank you so much for your patience calling in, brother. You know what I'm saying? We'll give you another call, bro. Talk to you, man. All right, this is the last call-in show. This is the last call of the call-in show. Before I bring them up, I want to get some super chats out of the way, but I want to explain the tempo of the call-in shows. Guys, I put the link up for the call-in show, and I pin it in the chat. I keep it up for like 75% of the show. This show right now has been going on for almost 2.5 hours. So we're at like 2 hours and 26 minutes. If I don't take down the link to the very last minute, then that means there's a potential of people being in the studio that I have to kick out at the end of the show because that means that the show is over. I don't want to do that. Everybody who clicks on the link and actually comes into the studio, I want to be able to talk to them. So there's a cutoff point where about maybe 30 minutes left in the show when I know that there's the last bit of people in the studio, I take the link off of the chat. So when you guys come in to a call-in show and you look for a chat link to come into the studio and it's not there, just do yourself a favor and look at how long the show has been going on. The show's been going on for over an hour and a half and there's no more link up there. You have to know that the door was closed, okay? For us to be able to have call-in shows. So let's get a couple of super chats in, and then we're going to get to Deuce on the Loose and close this thing on out. So right now, we got All Niner 9876 with 440 joules. Uncle Alert, I like it. All Niner 9876. Strib looked good, but I want to see him against top-tier corners soon. That's true. Those corners were bums. They weren't good from Tennessee. Particle Patent, 1,000 joules for a GOAT trophy. I'll take that. Jenny, Q2S5R, 10 joules for hiding. Where you hiding, Jenny? Substation 99. Caller, did you read all the books behind you? That was for Greg. I wanted to know that as well. Diosius Slam, F9484, 2 joules for 100. Thank you. Green Glassville Coach, try that Al Magrabi Ignite Oud EDP. Ooh. All right, I got one for you too. If you like that, I just got what is that called? Safari Afnan. Check that out. Fire. And it's cheap too. It smells really good. Purple Alligators Pit. That's a wild name. 440 joules, Uncle Alert. We have Bo Palapop Dumbledore. Come on, bro. 5147, 1,000 joules for a GOAT trophy. I'll get your name better next time, brother. All Niner 9876. The Niners backup QB spot isn't like the rest of the leagues. We get QBs injured. I need to see more than just one game out of work to crown him, as he's injured as well, fighting back from a rib injury. So from your lips to God's ears. And Steve-O, who can't get his mic together. 5 jewels for a treat. You give yourself a treat, Steve-O. You know what, Steve-O? You give this platform so much grief. It feels good to finally return the favor. Get your goddamn mic together when you come in my studio to have a call-in show, Steve-O, in here playing games. All right, the guy, the man, the myth, the legend, Deuce on the loose, my man. Talk to me, bruh. How you doing, man?
Always a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on. Oh yeah, the Curtis Rourke thing. I was saying the rib thing over concussion because you can recover from a rib in about 2 weeks. Concussion,
true.
Playing quarterback, got to use your brain. But thanks for having me on, and thanks for doing the Lord's work on Saturday.
Hey man, it is what it is, brother.
Yes,
gotta handle it. We had 2.5 hours in on the Saturday, man. I got to get out here and actually get a life. So talk to me, man. Close me out.
I remember you were on for 3 a.m. With Larry Krueger the other night. So thank you. So far, so good. I would say I'm actually optimistic with the players that we've drafted and also the players that are coming into their second year. I'd say better. For dribbling, I love the comparison of Brandon Marshall. Love, his interaction with the quarterback and how they created some type of in sync manner. Let's see how Kyle treats him week 1 through 4, and that'll give me more of a gist of how I feel about him personally. But I like him. He moves very athletically. He has that body lean. He has a lot of strength. I like him a lot. Who impressed me the most? I gotta say, the two that impressed me the most would be Grayson Halton, Sebastian Valdez with his strength. He's looking like he's trying to develop a second move. And then thirdly, I can't ignore is Jaden Duggar. He looks like he's 6'6". He looks ginormous out there, like a pterodactyl. He's got long arms. He moves fluidly. He looks good in that 53 too. So I like him a lot. I'm not on this Bethune thing. I like Bethune, but like I said earlier, they're going to see him as lunch meat because he's 5'11" and he's not great in coverage. But I'm not trying to shit on him. It's just being honest, man. Like I watched him.
This is dog, man.
What do you want to say?
Dog.
I can like
first of all, we do know that Dre. Hold on. We do know that Dre Greenlaw is a converted safety.
Of course, Dre Greenlaw is also great in coverage too. You saw what he did to Kelsey in the Super Bowl. Kelsey was over there ready to fight Andy Reid because he didn't get no catches because Greenlaw was on him. Then once Greenlaw got injured, Kelsey goes nuts. I mean, that happened. We witnessed that with our own eyes. And Kelsey is one of an all-time tight ends in our league. It's not like he was going up against, some Rudy poo. He was going up against Travis Kelsey in the Super Bowl. So
you guys are killing me, bro. And Tatum Bethune, I just look. Tatum Bethune is bigger than Dre Greenlaw, man. Do you know that?
Don't care. One player's better.
Oh my God! Come on!
Fred Warner plays at like 210, 215. I just hope y'all know that, right? He's not 225, 230. He said it himself. He's like, yeah, sometimes I'm slipped down to like 215, 210. This is Fred Warner. And Dre Greenlaw plays around like 220 or so. Dre Greenlaw is bigger than what you think. He's just not heavy big. Like Bethune is probably about 230 maybe, but nah, Dre's way better than Bethune. He's coming off his second year of this injury. I trust he'll be fine. If they keep him on a pitch count and let's say he plays 12 games or more for us, I'm all for Dre Greenlaw.
I feel like every time you know what? You guys aren't ready for this conversation. You're not ready for the conversation. You're not ready for it. The chat's not ready for it. Smith Sevens isn't ready for it. You're not ready for the conversation. It escapes you. You guys, every time you guys are treating Tatum Bethune like he's Swiss cheese. You know what I'm saying? Said the man is 5'11" when he's really 6'1", bigger than Dre Greenlaw. Like, come on, man. Said that you don't even care. Like, come on.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
That's the vibe that I'm getting.
All I got to say is watch that Texans game. They were eating him alive, and the Texans can't throw the ball last year at least. He's great on first and second down against the run game. But when you ask him to cover a tight end, a slow receiver in the slot, That's not his expertise. And linebackers usually don't get better at coverage in their experience. They usually already have it year one, or they don't have it. You don't get better at coverage usually. There's other positions where people get better at their position. With linebackers, it is what it is with them. Like Fred Warner came into the league being very good at coverage. Dre Greenlaw, same thing. But then that's not his thing. He's in year 3. He's not going to get better at coverage in year 3, switching a different defense too. Like I just don't see it for him. Not because he's not a good player, but I prefer.
I'm done. You've stated your case. I'm done. I'm off the Dre Greenlaw, Tatum Bethune thing. I'm off of it. All right. So we've done so far so good. Let's get into Stribling. Is he the real thing? What do you think?
I think he can be. I think if Kyle gives him enough snaps, because receiver is really a rhythm game.
All right. You doing? You doing something with your mic, man? What you doing with your mic?
I didn't do anything. Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Whatever the hell you. What? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
I think like whatever your mic is, I think it's rubbing up against your hoodie.
It might be a cell phone thing or something.
There you go. It's way better. Is that your microphone?
Yeah.
Hold that shit close to you, man. You sounding like you're 35 feet away. I'm trying to be nice. Your audio been trashed since the beginning of the call, low key. Now that I know you can do better, dog. Can you please hold your phone closer to you, bro?
Yeah. My phone is connected to my laptop. That's the only reason why.
It's so much better. Whatever you're doing right now, it's so much better.
I'm a virgin to this YouTube thing. You know, I'm not as experienced as you know, Grant and Larry Krueger or whatnot.
All right. And I tell you this with love. Your audio is ass. You need to with love. That shit was trash. So I was sitting here working with you because I'm being a good host. But once I saw like a glimpse of what could be better, I cannot stand for what I've been dealing with. I mean, come on. When you know better, you got to do better. So you sound much better now. But poof, there you go.
Yes, my audio is Bethune. Sorry about that.
Okay, I like that. Touche.
I like it.
Go ahead.
No, Stribling, like I said, it's a rhythm game. Like with receiver, let's say you don't get the ball for the first 3 quarters of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You might be out of rhythm depending on who you are. Justin Jefferson. Not everybody is a player where they could start the first quarter and they don't get the ball and they continue throughout the game with not getting the ball, blocking and running routes on air and blah, 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 and not getting the ball. So with Stribling, I think he'll be fine. It's just, can he deal with that type of interaction with Kyle Shanahan, him not getting the ball till, let's say, the second quarter or so? But
okay, so can he be ready?
Yeah. I want to see him against the ones against, who they're playing, the Chargers. I want to see him against the ones against the Chargers. That'll give me more of a gist of what he is and what he isn't.
Okay, I like that. So get into it. And I'm sorry, I hate to do this. You cannot name Grayson Holton. Everybody is taking that. So who has impressed you that nobody is talking about?
I said Sebastian Valdez is working on his second move. Duggar I brought up as well. Price Stock, I'm not as high as everybody else because I don't like corners that grab a lot. Like every corner grabs. Let's just be real with it. But I see him more as a safety because of the hips and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But I love his size. He reminds me more of Brandon Browner. Price Stock does.
That's a deep pull. Seattle Seahawks, big corner, played in the CFL, transferred over. And you know what else? Brandon Browner was known to be an overly aggressive corner. He was very handsy.
Yeah.
So,
but he got numerous contracts though, so obviously the league liked him a lot. But yeah, I'm with you on that though. Like Stribling and Rourke, they played excellent in the preseason. I didn't see Rourke being as athletic as I saw too. That came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. I guess because I watched him at Indiana. He had that big brace from tearing his ACL, and he played through that. So. But yeah, I like Rourke a lot. But another guy that nobody's really talking about that I think doesn't get enough credit is Austin Pleasance. I think he plays well enough. He's a backup. I'm not expecting to be Trent Williams or Laramie Tunsil or something like that. He does adequate. So Robert Jones, I think people need to be patient with him. Like you said, he hasn't played in over a year with a neck injury.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but. Those are my people that I'd say I'm impressed with. And I'm looking forward to this season. I'm actually more optimistic this year than I was last year, because last year I think we missed on on opportunities to get other players. This year I feel like we found some deep cuts. Like, I feel very good about Kalen Black coming in this year, even though he's injured right now. But I think it's actually for the good, so we can keep him on ice until week 1. I think week 2 he's gonna have a better game than week 1, honestly.
I'm not mad at that at all. Hey, Deuce, thank you so much for your patience, first of all, and you being a good sport on your audio. Thank you for letting me beat you up a little bit. Thanks for the call. Please call back again, man. I'll talk to you.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. And that will conclude it. Let's get a couple of more super chats out of the way. I think we do have one last one. We have Apex Sports Network. He became a YouTube member. Hey, brother, call in a little bit earlier so we can get you in here and have a dialogue for the call-in show, man. We'd love to have you on. I just explained it. You could just rewind back into the live to kind of get how we have our workflow with call-ins. Guys, Niners have practice today. They're currently probably in practice, so we're definitely going to be getting a lot of news out of that. Also, on Tuesday, joint practices with the Chargers commence, so that's going to be exciting. Till then, me and Larry, we're going to get into our show with Coach and Krug either later on tonight or Sunday, so we can catch up and stay on pace. Until then, you guys stay good and have a great weekend. This is the coach signing off. Stay low and keep your feet moving.